Hello and welcome everybody to Death's Curios, our final episode of the show. So thank you everybody who's been watching so far. We're going to get right into things very soon, but I just wanted to quickly come to screen and say to everybody, thank you for following so long. And also, tonight is going to be a bit intense, so be ready for that. We're going to be kicking up with quite a big scene, so this is going to be an absolute blast, I'm sure. So we'll see where all of our detectives end up. So I'm going to play a quick video about our sponsors, and then immediately after that, we'll be back for a recap, introducing the cast, and getting straight into the chaos. So I will speak to you very soon, everybody. Thank you.
Before we begin today's show, I would like to take some time to remind you about our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. All of the beautiful maps and roles you see tonight are done using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer and 40k minis for up to 20% off regular retail price. And Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. Go and check them out at tabletoploot.com.
Hello everybody and welcome back. So we're going to go straight into introducing our wonderful cast for the last time today, before perhaps even some of them fall in today's game. So we're going to go around, introduce everybody, and then we'll get to a recap and begin. So, Delilah Berkeley, welcome back.
All right.
How are you feeling?
Like a snack for Miss Fairchild.
Fair enough. That is a good feeling to have and might be accurate in this game. But yeah, tell us about your character very briefly for the last time.
All right. So I am playing Lady Delilah Berkeley. By title, she is a countess, wife of Earl Berkeley. She may or may not have been just a regular American singer before she married quite high up in the world, and then her husband mysteriously vanished. She's working with these lovely, lovely group of people to try to figure this out, and she is one of two squishies sitting very close to Miss Fairchild.
Indeed, she is. And speaking of squishy, Magdalena, the least squishy of all.
Ha! Yes, hi, I'm Lindy, and I'm sick, but hopefully I'll feel better playing Magdalena Dracul. It's Magdalena Dracul. The secret's out. And she is a Dampier, half vampire artist who is, we're in a bit of a problem right now. There's some chaos, and Papa is here, and he's going to be very disappointed at my lack of progress. So I'm sure things are fine. Let's play the game.
I'm sure it will be fine, you disappointment. And yeah, we will continue on with hurtful words from Papa as we go to Miss Fairchild. Welcome back.
Hello, I am Shakespeare. I'm playing Miss Fairchild, who is a mourner who was of good standing. I don't know how her escapades with our merry band of investigators has affected her reputation, or, you know, the fact that she has a 5-year-old son, which she's really not supposed to have. But right now, she's just feeling rather hungry. Really, really hungry. You all look like
Ravenous.
turkey right now.
Ravenous one.
Now you know how it feels.
So, Tilly, welcome back.
Hello, I'm Humbledore. I'll be playing Tilly Griffiths for the last time. I'm sure it will be the last time because she's a bit underfed, but she could be like a little appetizer, maybe, for 1 or 2 people in the group. Otherwise, very excited to be here and expire this session. Can't wait.
Brilliant. And Dr. Vilrucht.
I'm Greybeard, and I will be the one-armed mad scientist doctor trying to cling to life as only mad scientists can.
And you're certainly trying, and I can't wait to see where Vilrucht goes. And speaking of, before we begin, I would like to mention that luckily the UI is laid out perfectly so that we have the eater of people on one side and the rest. Which is kind of interesting, actually, now that this has gone this way. But since last session, a lot happened. The investigators finally attended the auction that they were told about, where apparently there was a couple of the Curios that they're looking for to return to their owner on sale. They went there and saw some familiar faces, with Magdalena seeing her father, of all people, Vlad Dracul, who is visited from the old country, and also seeing the detective, the one that stopped them beforehand, Detective Arthur Murray, the Irish detective who is quite plucky and is looking to land a big case and a big arrest with this. They went to the auction and saw many interesting items on display, from a large death ray that somebody of the American gang seemed to buy, to galvanic guns, to a large mirror from Elizabeth Bathory themselves, which Delilah purchased using the money they were given. They managed to get a large amount of money from a young lord, the one they saved from the Blue Cat murderer, and overall things were going quite smoothly. That is until an item was brought out, one said to be of interest to them, one of the Curios. However, when it arrived and they revealed it, the mask was not there to be found. It's at that time that the audience heard a fizzing noise, followed by a blast that killed the gentleman running the auction. And as the individual wielding this galvanic gun turned towards the crowd, their eyes, or at least the black voids beneath the mask that were unseeable, noticed Miss Fairchild, locking eyes with them. And Miss Fairchild's instincts, her basest of darkest desires, kicked in hard. And it's as the crowd begin to panic, and it's as you see this happen on stage, this bloody display, this murder, that will kick back in. All of you are still in the crowd. You're stood or sat, depending on what your reaction was to the shot, and there is chaos around you. Many of the people are trying to find their way out or to a back room. However, they're underground in a very secluded area, and there's a guard trying to stop them all from running. However, the gentleman in the mask is still on the stage and does kind of glance around the crowd quite a bit, and you do see their eyes lock on Miss Fairchild's for a second before they turn away. It's just happened. What do you all do? Any snap reactions from any of you?
I believe Magdalena had hit the deck
You had.
as soon as, yeah, so...
So you're on the deck.
Yeah.
Snap reaction from Tilly would be to crouch down and begin to peer over, and when it was safe, probably begin... Is it like an auditorium with
It is, it's like an auditorium, so you've got layers of seats that go down.
She'll basically begin trying to get over the seats and get closer down and, draw her gun.
So do you have acrobatics, or do you have anything like that at all?
Probably not. Let me have a look. I have unarmed. Don't think punching the chairs would help.
So it doesn't count. But you can roll
I have
coordination.
shadow. I do have shadow. But,
a coordination will do. You're not sneaking, so...
That's fine. First roll. Not bad. 16.
Okay, on a 16, which reminds me, I need to log into Fantasy Grounds. That's one of the big things to do.
That would help.
That would help to see your rolls, wouldn't it? Okay, so on a 16, you begin to jump over the seats, and you're making quite some ground. What about the rest of you? Delilah, you're still in shock, I imagine.
She's kind of
Dr.
holding on,
chairs.
hiding
Magdalena,
behind the doctor.
And Miss Fairchild, you're stood next to Delilah, who is... You're currently on the row in front of the doctor. Very
I'm
close.
going to hide behind someone.
The doctor stands up and walks to the aisle and proceeds down the steps, down the aisle towards the stage, looking at the waist and feet of the masked individual on the dais or stage.
Okay, so they seem to be wearing what looks like some pinstriped trousers of a grey cotton with white pinstripes down them, some very fancy looking brown boots, leather, and aside from that they seem to be wearing a heavy jacket over the rest of them. And Miss Fairchild, Delilah, you're trying to hide behind someone, Delilah. You see most of the crowd are worrying about right now. There is Miss Fairchild there, but aside from that and the seats, there's not much else there to hide behind.
Oh, well, clearly, because I trust Miss Fairchild so much, and I've been cowering behind her, I'll go cower behind her. Kill me
You
now.
go and cower behind Miss Fairchild.
Don't say that.
Miss Fairchild. There's chaos around you, but that doesn't matter to you. Everything is screaming at you to eat. You need to eat, and you know what you need to eat. You look around, and there's so much delicious food in here. So much.
Has anyone been knocked prone, or is there anyone who, like, because go for corpse-like
You can give me
first.
a very quick wit check.
Okay, wit check.
And I think Magdalena would be heading down towards the stage as well, but staying low. Because she
Okay,
doesn't
so
want
we'll
to
get there slower, but you can give me a shadow check to keep yourself hidden in the chairs
Yeah.
as you kind of slowly wind your way down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on a 12, you look around and you just see a mass of food. It's as if you haven't eaten in about half a year and you love pizza, and there's just pizza slices everywhere in front of you. It's the best way of putting it. There's so much good food here. And on your 12, you do notice at least that there's one closer to you. They are crouched down and in more of it's a cowering position. Aside from them, however, the mill of bodies in front of you, you can't quite see anybody who's fallen as such.
Oh, god damn it. Then, yeah, Miss Fairchild would grab the nearest, easiest, stillest thing.
Delilah, you were grabbed by Miss Fairchild, who turns and grips you.
Hi, Miss Fairchild. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Oh,
At this point, Miss
quite
Fairchild
frightening.
has probably already started, like, chewing on her own tongue, because if she's that hungry, it's just gone a bit beyond. So when
It
she
has.
opens her mouth, there is blood that just, like, runs down her chin, and she is, like, grabbing at your arm and looking with intent.
Miss Fairchild, are you quite well? You're not looking so good. Is that blood? Did something happen?
And she is going to attempt to bite your arm.
Yep, I was going to say
know.
that. Okay, so could you give me a very quick unarmed check, please?
Okay, I don't
Ha!
have
Unarmed.
I don't have unarmed.
In which case,
So
luckily, it is just a base 2d10 roll if you don't have unarmed.
Okay. No.
You know what? That might actually be a saving grace in this episode. So,
That's a 13!
what is your coordination, Delilah?
2.
Okay. So, lucky for
Technically,
you,
I have unarmed free dodge.
you do. You have a dodge for ranged attacks. However, as you see Miss Fairchild, are you defensive about this, or are you unaware of what's about to happen?
She's kind of just like, what are you pulling my arm for? What? She's very confused, trying to pull her arm
In
back,
which
but
case,
not
as
really.
you do that, so you have Miss Fairchild grab your arm, begin to pull it forward, and she gets it closer to her mouth, and you see her almost go to snap down on it, but you pull back your arm just in time, though the teeth graze your arm slightly. And she still
Miss
looks at you with
Fairchild?
that bloody mouth and face and looks at you with an almost feral look in her eye.
Doctor, I think Miss Fairchild has rabies. She kind of like backs up very slowly.
And Doctor, give me a wit check, please.
All right. Wit is.
Wit.
It's interesting because wit and intellect are different, and I always want to monkey
They
them up.
certainly are, yes.
Oh no. Yeah, you know how you were not in Fantasy Grounds?
Sorry, these things.
I had
Okay.
it open. I just didn't have it loaded. If someone
I got a
Roll,
21 on my stealth.
Wow, very nice, by the way. So
Very
you, Magdalena, you are the knight. You're behind the seat. You're making your way around.
I know how to growl and
Winding.
stalk. I have
You do.
centuries of experience.
Indeed, you do. And you're making your way slowly down, sort of snaking your way to the bottom stairs. Tilly, you're diving over seat after seat after seat. You'll be arriving on the auction floor. And Dr. Varukht, you hear out of the sort of corner of your senses, you hear Delilah sort of shouting towards you, you think, with panic in her voice, but you don't hear her words.
Okay. Damn it, woman! There's a threat on the stage! And he's with his one arm pointing. He doesn't look back because he's trying not to look at the thing's face. He doesn't want to make eye contact with it, basically.
Okay.
There's something quite wrong. Still backing him slowly.
Okay, and so you continue making your way down as Delilah, you are still confronted with Miss Fairchild. And so we'll cut the two sections here as we'll move down. So Tilly Griffiths, you hit the bottom of the rows of chairs, you hit the auction floor. There's a distance between you and the stage, and you also can see the doctor is still sort of battling his way through the crowds and trying to make his way down towards the floor as well, but is only about halfway here. You do not see Magdalena, she is the knight, and you do see that Detective Arthur Murray is also kind of making his way across the chairs, though slower than yourself at this time.
Okay.
Do you look around at all as you get down back, or do you continue to move forward?
I think with the way that I am, I'm going to be keeping my eyes focused on the target.
Okay,
So
no problem
I'm going to
at
be looking for those white and red pinstripes because they are bright, and locking on those.
Yep, so they are grey and white, they aren't red.
Oh, grey?
And
Grey and
grey and white. And
I thought
brown.
they said red and white. I was like, that's quite carnival-like.
Yeah, I mean, grey and red, they're quite alike. Okay, so you keep your eyes towards that and you begin to look through the crowd and you do spot them and you see that they seem to be stepping away from the stage. They're turning and they're heading backstage from the looks of things.
Okay. She will definitely follow. Yeah, is there lots of people in the way of this
Tons
person?
of people in the way. There are lots of people milling about trying to push their way out. There's people basically telling them that they can't leave. They're trying to keep them in and keep them calm and saying they're going to handle it. You can see they're not handling it. And yeah.
Okay. From the way that my sort of brain works, I've already sort of memorized as I was coming down the pattern of people. Is there a best way to get through and get through quickly?
Give me a quick wit check.
Sure. And I might.
Okay.
No, 13's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna need a route.
You can't see a clear route through, and memorizing or not, this is chaos down there. If you memorized it one moment, it is completely changed by the next. And you think you could probably squeeze through. You just have to make sure that you don't get caught in any of the swells that push towards the doors. It seems there is a more calm section of the crowd, as you do see off to the far left is sort of a few of them who are keeping their eyes down and keeping to themselves quite quietly.
So shifty. They knew. She'll make a mental note about what they sort of look like, how they're dressed before dashing off.
One of them seems to be Magdalena's dad, and the other one seems to be two American big blokes who are kind of flanking a very finely dressed lady who just bought a death ray, as you remember.
Ah, the finely dressed woman. Okay, yep, cool. Yep, I'm off after them.
And you begin to make your way through the crowd. Okay, so meanwhile, Magdalena, you're beginning to make your way down, and you make your way to the bottom as you see Tilly vanish into the crowds. You also see Arthur, the detective, sort of jump across the final chair and land on the ground. He hasn't seen you at all, as he sort of dives off across from you.
I eat him. No, I'm kidding. I don't. Tempting.
Don't joke about that in this game. We've already got that going on.
Don't steal my line.
It's been my line since like session 1. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sharing is caring.
It is. She'll just take a good scope. She'll keep her eyes low because, again, we know that mask is bad and it does some weird brain stuff, and she does her weird brain stuff via eye contact. So she's going to be avoiding eye contact with people. But she'll do a scope to see what's going on while staying undercover.
So your other stealth check will still cover you in this, as you haven't moved out of the cover of the chairs. So you're still on a 21 for your stealth, but if you give me that wit
check. Yeah, I just had to double check.
Certainly.
19.
Wow, on a 19. So you scope out the room and your supernatural sight begins to kind of look around. And as you do, you see Dr. Varukht making his way down. He seems to be getting about towards the bottom by now, but is pushing through person after person after person who are pushing their way up the rows of seats. You also manage to see that Tilly has definitely vanished into that crowd that you can see in front of you. This swell of these finely dressed people in masks trying to make their way out and panicking. And you can also see what looks to be Miss Fairchild and Delilah further up as you catch them in the corner of your eye and hear it more than see it. As you hear Delilah say something about, Doctor, I think Miss Fairchild may have rabies.
I tasted her not too long ago. She does not have rabies. So I'll just be like, that's a weird thing to say. She doesn't have rabies. I checked it out myself. But she'll see the crowd. Is there a way to kind of go around the crowd?
There is. You see a collection of calm people. You see your father. You see the American lady and her two guards. And you see they are sat off all the way to the left near no exits. And they're just sat calmly.
Yeah, I'll just blend in. Just stroll real. I'll just why find my way through the crowd when I can stroll around the outside?
Okay, so you begin to stroll around the outside. It's still quite a challenge, but you make it through as you push anybody in your way out of the way, and you make it over. And your father sees you and just kind of goes, Magdalena, I imagine you are doing the, what? Leftovers?
Yes and no.
Oh, I see. And what is it you're doing here?
Oh, well, I was very interested in that mask. I had heard about it. Yes, and now the person who stole mask and is shooting people, I figured I might go intervene.
Oh, well, if you must, I understand. But be safe. I will visit you later.
Of course, Papa, I would love that.
I am sure you would. Now go to war, my flower.
Sure. Go off, encouraged and emboldened by her Papa's words and lack of
an additional reroll for your father. And you make your way around. It's quite a while, however. And Tilly, you've made your way through the crowd at this point, and you've made it to the stage. You see no sign of the person who ran away, but you know they went backstage behind the curtain, off to the right-hand side of the stage.
Yeah, she's trying to not be the first person behind the curtain because it's probably a trap.
Oh, you're definitely not going to be.
That's why she's taking her time.
Yeah, gun drawn down by the waist, and gonna just go right behind the curtain and just keep a very close ear and eye and nose out for anything.
So you begin to make your way around the curtain and you go into the backstage area, which seems to be very dark. There is almost a look to a long, almost storage warehouse kind of feel to it. It is a large, square, like rectangle even room that seems to go on for as far as you can make out before going completely into the pitch black in there. You see many boxes and crates sort of stacked up with many different stamps from different countries and origins, or numbers that seem to be some sort of code of sale on them in the back end of this place behind the stage. You see no sign of the gentleman in the mask behind here immediately, however. And it's about that time that you do hear footsteps coming from behind you. And you see Detective Arthur Murray behind you as he's sort of a bit out of breath. And he goes, right, they're behind you, right?
I believe so. Watch my back. And if you've got a light source, maybe use it.
Well, yeah, he kind of pats himself down and takes out what looks to be a lighter and kind of hands it over. This'll do. That's all I have.
Have you got a gun?
Yes, of course I have a gun. Yes, I'm a copper. Right. So he's kind of takes out a small gun.
Good. Right. Is it dusty in here? Oh.
It's quite clean. They keep this place very clean. There is a small sheen of dust on the floor, however, so you can give me a very quick forensic science check.
Sure. That's possible. Nope, not just a fool. That's fine. I would like to use my Master Detective to reroll that.
Sure. Give yourself the reroll for being a Master Detective.
That is still crap. I'm going to do it. Yes. Please, for the love of God.
You're using a second chance, then?
Yes, I am. 17. Right.
17. Okay, so this time the dust is very thin and it's quite erratically spread. There's been a lot of footfall through here, but you notice with your master detective senses that there is indeed a set of footprints that are a bit more fresh and they're a bit more scraped, a bit more pushed, as if the person was running quite quickly. They lead into the darkness.
This way. And
he sort of keeps his gun close and just kind of looks around. Right. Magdalena, by the way, you are behind them. You are still quiet, but you're considered to be just behind this group, so you can intervene at any point you wish.
I'll just lurk for a while.
You continue to lurk. Meanwhile, Dr. Brute, you pushed your way through the crowd. You've got to the bottom of the stairs. You've managed to make it down. You can see the swell of the crowd off to sort of your center and right. It seems to spread all the way down there. And you can also see some calm individuals to the left and the stage up ahead, where you've just seen, given the raised sort of look of it, you can see the feet of Tilly, of Magdalena, and of the detective Arthur Murray all making their way to the back end.
Oh, fuck him there. He tries to move faster, and if there's anything to like step on and then, you know, sort of half leap onto the stage, he'll try it.
Yeah, you could find like a little sort of a raised section where somebody would usually be there to shout announcements as you jump onto that and give a jump. Could you give me a very quick acrobatic check, please?
Sure, and if we don't have acrobatics, vitality or
I'll
coordination? All right. And...
Okay, 16. So you manage to jump onto it and begin to spring upwards, and as you do, you clear a part of the crowd and land about halfway in between it, as some people push into you and bump into you, and you find yourself in the swell, but you haven't got as far to go now, it seems. And meanwhile, up in chairs where nobody else seems to really be at the moment, Delilah and Miss Fairchild, your conflict continues. So, who out of the two of you has the highest prowess?
Probably Miss Fairchild.
I have 5.
And what is your wit and coordination combined, Delilah, for your prowess?
Wit and coordination, 5!
Okay, so both of you equal, so could you both roll me 2d10s plus 5 then?
Okay. Alright, bad luck. Let's do this. Huh.
Okay, so it seems that you indeed, Delilah, are going first as your panic seems to kick in and your fight or flight kicks in, and you see Miss Fairchild still looking with that wild look in her eyes, the blood painting her chin. What do you do?
Fairchild.
2 actions.
All right. First action, I'm going to attempt to talk Miss Fairchild down, and like pulling out a bottle. And if she still doesn't respond, I'm going to splash all over myself. She's like, Miss Fairchild, please, I don't know what is happening, but I am not delicious. Nor am I one of the bacon bits you eat. And no, I do not want to do this. Ned gave this to me as a present half a year ago, and I treasure this very dearly, so don't make me use this.
Miss Fairchild, what is your response?
Trying to eat her face off again. Really.
Okay, cool. That's a good response. That's valid.
She's just hunger at the moment. She doesn't even recognize who she's looking at. It's just, I need to eat. She's been a starving child. She does not want to die like this. So she's just thinking, eat it. Deal with everything else later.
All right, so you see that this doesn't seem to deter Miss Fairchild at all, as they still look at you with that look, and they're still approaching. And your voice seems to be lost to everybody in the ether as your panic takes you over.
Yes, she's just like, you leave me no choice. Uncorks it completely. And then will basically pour her own perfume all over herself while holding her nose.
So you stand there as you begin to just...
No, she pours it.
Okay.
Just like...
You pull off the cap and you pour it over yourself.
And she like makes sure to like put her like clench her nose because it smells really, really strong like that.
Yes, so there is a very
can say-
strong scent. It seems that your own meal has seemingly basted themselves for you. And at which point we will go around to Miss Fairchild. Miss Fairchild, you have 2 actions. What do you wish to do with them? Your basted turkey is in front of you.
It smells terrible. What are you talking about?
One reference.
Does the scent have any effect at all?
I'll tell you what, give me a very quick willpower check. No concentration,
Okay.
as you're mad about this hunger. You're just
Okay.
you are needing this food.
It's a 15.
Okay, so at 15, you recognize the scent, Delilah, and you remember a lot of good food.
Yep,
See-
I'm
see-
gonna try even harder to eat her.
Unfortunately.
Ew, don't be perfume-based person.
She's trying to
I like
eat
how your
human
problem
flesh.
here
I don't
is
think
the
perfume is
perfume.
like really a deterrent so much
Yeah,
as
like your problem is
flesh
the
would be.
perfume.
Have you ever had perfume poured on you before? It's so bad.
I've never eaten human flesh either.
Apparently it
That's good-
tastes
that's
like
good to hear.
pork and salmon mixed together, apparently.
But it's not about that either way. It is.
No. So unarmed is just a straight roll because I don't have it.
It is indeed. So,
Okay.
unarmed, please, as you are continuing to. So, luckily for you,
That's 11.
Miss Fairchild goes for you the first time and misses. Do you want to go again, Miss Fairchild? You get 2 attacks a turn, so.
Yep, she would.
Okay, keep going. You
Hey!
can do the 13 as yet again you go for Delilah, who, covered in perfume, slips out of your grasp twice as you're still going for them. Their backs sort of pushed against the chairs as you're making your way across, her holding her nose and dodging out of the way of your grasps as you continue.
Woman,
your check.
have you no nose?
Delilah, what do you do?
Seeing that, like, my perfume skunk trick did not work. She's like, where's the closest person? I can't find Magdalena because Magdalena is the knight. I'm gonna be like, Doctor, help! And just like cover my nose and like sprint for.
Doctor, can you give me a wit check from your position in the middle of the entire crowd? Let's see what you're doing here. Would you like to use a second chance, Doctor?
I am loving how it's playing out, and the doctor is so
Understandable.
focused. You know,
The doctor
but,
does not hear you. He is too busy pushing his way through the crowd in that case.
Halfway jumped across the stage.
Yeah. So it's as you shout, Doctor, that you see Varup's white hair appear out of the crowd as you look over and you see him soaring through the air majestically and landing in the middle of the crowd. You're alone.
Cool.
There is no one else
I'm
here
running-
with you and
I'm-
the hungry Miss Fairchild.
I'm running towards the frickin' crowd.
Okay, so you begin to make your way away as you begin to sprint out from this.
Yay!
Miss Fairchild,
'Cause
do you make
I
this?
can't run. I can't run. I'm lame, so I will hobble after her. Will
So-
she
You look
reach
like an
another
animal.
person before I reach her?
Good question. It's a very good question. So could the both of you make me a very quick vitality check, please? You'll be at a -2
great.
for yours, Miss Fairchild, as obviously
Okay.
Delilah is trying to run away a lot, and you are going straight towards them, regardless of anything in the way.
Whew.
You begin to make your way towards the crowds, Delilah, as you begin to run down the stairs, and up at the top, you see Miss Fairchild looking like a ghoul as they begin to sort of limp their way down the stairs towards you. That hunger in their eyes.
Is that what an animate looks like? She's just thinking this in her head as she's like trying to crawl her way to hide between the crowd.
Quite possibly.
What's the name
though,
of
Miss
our guard
Fairchild is
again?
more terrifying than an animate. The name of
Yeah,
your...
she has swords. Our guide,
who,
the
sorry?
guy who came down.
Oh,
our guide,
your
the guy.
guide. Your guide is Fancy Vince.
Vince, can you please take me out of here?
And almost on cue, you see Vince is sat on the front row. He's sort of kicking back. He's got his very fancy outfit on, and he just kind of looks at you and tips his hat and just goes, All right, and so, I mean, I could do that if you wish, though there's quite the commotion here, and the door is sadly blocked. Now, there is more ways out, but they cost
Is there any
more.
way to hide?
Well, yeah, you just hide, don't you? It's quite easy, really, when you
She-
think about it.
Help me find a place, please.
It's Fairchild,
I don't want
all
to be
right. She seems
eaten.
to be having a bit of a time.
She's trying to
She's getting
eat
pretty
me.
close. Is she? That doesn't sound like Miss Fairchild. She don't eat people.
Help
She
me!
eats-
She takes off one of her rings and drops in his hand. It's diamond and gold.
Oh, you're speaking my language, miss. He says and pockets and goes, right, let's get you out of here then. So, follow me. It's a very good way through the back of the stage. Now, of course, there's some danger back there, but it's fine. I know my way out.
Yes, yep, just hurry.
Oh, she's looking real hungry right now, Miss Delilah. I might say it's good to move.
Yes. She's just like literally like,
Right then, let's get ourselves going then, he says and kind of gets up. Come on then, he says and gets walking around the calm side, which you will pass the stairs when Miss Fairchild is making their way down quite closely as Vince takes you by. And Vince does tip his hat at you, Miss Fairchild.
Is there a barrier on the stairs?
There isn't, it's just stairs.
Because if they like passed by, she would
They will be.
fully try and jump on one of them.
Okay, so could
passes
you give me
by
a very quick
first?
acrobatics check? Or
I don't
a,
have
if you haven't got
acrobatics.
that, then just give me... You know what, you're not throwing yourself far. We'll go by coordination for your check for this jump.
Oh, God.
As you're just throwing yourself towards them. You're more angling yourself than you are actually using your strength here.
Which one walks by first? That's a 12.
Okay, so you dive off and you land next to them as Vince stands there closer to you and he looks a bit surprised. He's like, oh, bloody hell, she seemed a bit, didn't she?
I will try to
You're
eat him.
very quiet, I don't know why.
hiding behind
No.
Vincent like,
Don't call me Vincent, that's what my ma calls me, and no one else. Miss Fairchild, no, it seems there's been a bit of a misunderstanding.
Hungry. And I will try and eat his face.
Okay, so could you give me the unarmed check, please?
Yep.
thank you, human
Consider
shield.
unaware. So,
19.
that's a hit. Can you give me your damage, please? It is just your vitality plus 2d10s here.
Oh. Ooh. It's a 14.
Okay.
I don't want to eat Vincent. I liked Vincent.
So you do catch him, but you only catch him on the cheek, as you seem to just catch the bare skin. He kind of twists out the way in time, but you do damage him a bit as blood sort of trickles out the side of his cheek a bit, and he's like, ow, yeah, let's run, she's gone mental, he says as he starts to drag you.
Yeah.
And Miss Fairchild, do you make chase?
I will continue hobbling after them until someone else is closer to me.
Okay, no
It's
problem.
just a case of proximity at this point.
So you continue to chase them and chase them and chase them as they wind their way towards the stage, keeping a wide berth of anybody else. And you continue to chase them down. And you get on the stage, Delilah, with Vince, who kind of helps you up and then looks around in his fancy suit again and just goes, right, and we got to get back here. We got to keep going around there and just keep quiet. Yeah, keep quiet. It's dark, but I know my way through, so we'll be fine. I'm sure nothing's going on back there anyway. I'm sure he just escaped after he did what he did. Speaking of back there, Tilly, Arthur, Magdalena, you're beginning to make your way through, and Dr. Varuk, you arrive on the stage at the same time as seemingly a very panicked Delilah kind of pushes through the stairs and comes up onto the stage with Fancy Vince, who's bleeding, and you do arrive on the stage just as they do. You're near the curtain.
Do I see Miss Fairchild like hobbling up the stairs with blood on her mouth? And
You do.
All
You
right.
see there's blood on Vince's cheek, and Delilah looks terrified, and you see Miss Fairchild making their way slowly towards the group, looking
is
with a
there
wild look in the eye.
any reason the doctor wouldn't think Miss Fairchild's inanimate?
The blush of the skin. There is
All right.
blood in there.
Okay.
There is life
Nasty
in there.
pasty.
Perhaps it is perhaps it's a spontaneous animation, but you don't remember Miss Fairchild being dead, and there's no signs of a death.
All right. So I know that she's not an animate. But we're outpacing her, right?
Right now.
All right.
As long as you keep a very, very brisk pace, you will outpace Miss Fairchild, but barely. If you ever slow down or stop, you're going to get caught.
Okay.
You will.
I'll hustle us along. Like, we've got bigger fish to fry. He doesn't say anything. He's just is like pushing towards the curtain with one arm.
Doctor,
We'll take care of her later. There's darker evil beyond the curtain. Let's go.
She has a taste for human flesh.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's bigger.
I know, I mean, I've been called tasty before, but this is taking the piss, he says, still holding his face, and Vince is just kind of walking.
The doctor does smile and is like, "You're funny. Go."
What? I'm trying to comedy act, he says, as you make your way back behind the curtain with Fancy Vince and into the darkness beyond. Meanwhile, Tilly Griffiths and the other two of you, Magdalena and Arthur, you have been making your way through all this time. So
and
you
I've
stepped
pulled my
into the dark area.
saber out as well, just to have it ready.
You pull the cavalry saber out that you had delivered. It doesn't feel the same at all, but it's functional.
Do I hear the shink of metal?
You can give me a very quick wit check, please.
Very slow.
Alright,
Even more
alright.
threatening then.
That's just a 14.
You hear a sort of metal sliding against something.
I'll spin
So you twist around.
like lighter in that hand and then like gun crossed over the arm.
You do so, and behind you, you see Magdalena's sword drawn.
I hope this isn't the time you turn on us, Magdalena.
No, there's mask man getting away.
Hurry. And she points out the footsteps on the floor. Can you scent them? She says quietly enough to Mr. Bell.
Can I? What?
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the lady. And I say to Miss DeVille, can you scent them?
I can try.
Right. Well, whatever you say.
You have exceptional olfactory senses, Arthur.
Right, yes, of course. Well, you do what you need to.
Mm-hmm. She makes an excellent detective.
Right, okay, of course, yes, fine. So,
And
can you try and give me a very quick check, please, a wit check to try and set
Yes.
this person?
Yeah, I'm not as good as I am at looking at things, but I can give it a go.
No.
14.
Okay, so you can't catch a whiff of anyone else, just the ones near you. And
No,
blood
there's
behind.
too much going on. And it's blood. Oh, I do smell blood. Odd.
all right.
Can I-
And
Does it smell like bad blood, like Miss Fairchild, or is it like, oh, that's actually kind of appealing?
It
It's not like that awful blood.
No,
that made me
it's
have
not
a
the
seizure.
it's not the awful scent that you caught before when you last tasted it. It is normal. You would say it's perfectly average.
Okay. Let's keep out for blood.
Okay. And it's as you all begin to move forward that you hear a rather panicked scrambling behind you.
turn around.
You see the doctor, Delilah, and Fancy Vince, who is bleeding from his cheek slightly, though quite a distance away from you. You're further forward than they are, but you see them coming through the more light area, whereas you are currently in the area that is sort of transitioning to a pitch black.
If I see the doctor, I'll basically sign out very quickly by like sort of putting my hand in front of the flame in like Morse code this way, very quickly as I can anyway, or just blink blink and run.
Yeah, you see a flame.
And the doctor quick draws his flashlight, click turns it on and hands it.
You're a bit away from me.
Yeah, you're quite away from them at this point.
Oh,
You just see
then
two flickers of light in the dark.
Okay, then he would
I consider
flip
how
out
necessary Fancy Vince is.
and hand the light to either Delilah or Vince, who's ever right there.
Yeah, either one will take it, I imagine. Do you take the light, Delilah, or do you let Fancy Vince take it? You take it. Okay, so you
I'll
grab the
take it.
light.
I'm used to it. Oddly.
You have a light.
I feel like
It is
I've
lighting
taken
up
this
the area
before.
near you.
And the doctor will start rummaging in his bag.
Okay, meanwhile, Miss Fairchild, you are making good distance towards them. You walk in behind a curtain and you see a dark room beyond. And you see what looks to be the doctor, Delilah, and Vince with their backs turned. As the doctor is rummaging through his bag and Delilah is holding a light in her hand.
Are they all equidistant from me, or is someone slightly
All equal.
closer? Okay, in which case it's one of them's already bloodied, so I'm gonna go for Vince. Poor boy. Just gonna come up behind him and try and bite his throat out.
Okay,
May
so
I
it's
immediately
as you,
flash?
you can do that. It's as you get handed the light, as the doctor kind of opens his bag, begins to go through it, and as Vince sort of stands again, oh, do you want me to? Oh, fair enough then. I guess you got it covered, haven't you? And it's as you say that Miss Fairchild, as you turn, this is what you'll see. So Miss Fairchild, give me the attacks, please.
Okay.
You're looking to be an 11.
Is a 14.
That's a hit. And if you give me the second hit first, and then we'll go for the damage.
And a 9.
Cool. Would you like to use a second chance on that?
No, I don't want to kill
You
Vince.
have 5 of them.
Yeah, alright, go on.
Vince, no.
Oh.
Okay, cool. So one of them hits as you go for the attack, and you manage to get them off guard, and you're aiming for a good spot as you go in for a bite. Could you give me a very quick damage check, please? So that's just 2d10s plus your vitality.
Alrighty.
Plus 2 for you attacking them where you're attacking them.
Yeah, so +2 on top of my vitality. 17.
Okay, so a 17 will be an incapacitating wound. And what area are we going for again? Was it like the neck, the back? Is it
Neck.
the face?
It's literally like she's very practiced in taking people's heads off, so it'll be like a
Really is.
hand coming around, pulling the head
Do I
to
get
one
to
side
see
and
this?
just
Do I get to be looking at them
chomping.
and see Miss Fairchild like chomp into somebody's neck and feel like, and yet she
knows
judged
where
me
our
so
arteries
much.
are.
We'll soon see. So I'm just going to quickly get up the injury. I'll just search for broken ribs, as is tradition.
If she breaks his ribs, that'd be quite impressive.
You bite his neck, his nib hinges.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go with a head for this. As you start chomping into the neck and around that area. So could you give me 2 d10s, please, as a roll? And tell me what result you get.
2d10s. Right. That's a 14.
Okie dokie. Complications on the head on a 14 is going to be a disfiguring scar, which is very nice. So you turn around, Delilah, and you look towards where you think Vince is. And as you twist and point the light at them, you already see Miss Fairchild's head whipping in and her arms grasping his shoulders as she plunges her teeth into his neck and tears a scrap of flesh away with it, and blood begins to seep out of Vince's neck. And Magdalena, you see this as well. In fact, you all would, as Vince screams in agony as he's just been bitten into and yanked away as some of his flesh is torn by the teeth of Miss Fairchild.
It's not neat, I don't have fangs.
It isn't neat. He isn't dead, but he is not looking good, and she is still on him. Doctor,
Yeah,
look.
The doctor takes a vial out, puts it in his mouth, and then uses his other hand to load a syringe.
Okay, so you begin to load a syringe. You will be able to use it next round, as that will be quite a big action and delicate. What about the rest of you as you see this? Tilly, you see and hear this. Magdalena, you see and hear this. Arthur sees
I
and hears
feel like
this.
she had no right to be so judgy on me when I ripped that one guy's throat out.
Fair.
Do I have a clear shot of Miss Fairchild? Have I seen Miss Fairchild bite someone's face?
You've seen her tear a chunk out of his neck and you see the blood pour, and you do see the form of Miss Fairchild behind them, and you see Delilah turn and point it. There's not a clear shot. There's a lot of movement going on, and Vince is a bigger guy, but he's slim, luckily, so you could possibly land a shot, but it's a risky shot.
I just turn to Arthur. Arthur, go back. Incapacitate Miss Fairchild. Incapacitate Miss Fairchild. She's lost her head. Go,
Magdalena
now.
is
you deal with that. That's
going
your person.
to
I'm going to go ahead with the case.
assist.
Magdalena, please. And Tilly will press on her head.
Hypocrites. And she'll just go over to Miss Fairchild and attempt to
Arthur can use her head as well.
incapacitate her.
Okay,
She
so
doesn't,
to make
like,
your way over. So it'll be one action
stab
for you
her.
to get all the way over. And then
Okay.
you see Miss Fairchild sort of biting blood everywhere on her. Miss Fairchild, it's so delicious.
This is like fledgling vampires when we have them in the castle. It's so annoying. I'm going to try because she doesn't not want to hurt Miss Fairchild, but she's not supposed to. So I'll try to grapple.
Okay, sure, certainly. So you'll just go for a vitality check as you go to grip and grapple.
And
Miss
I have
Fairchild.
iron grip, so I have a +1 to grapple. So
Very nice. So if you give me your check then, please, for that.
19.
Wow, okay, and yeah, so Miss Fairchild, you've got this.
I'm just if I can, I'm just gonna go behind the arms and behind the head, just like as like a sleeper hold.
You can give me a very quick check against that as well. If you've got anything to do with coordination vitality, you can roll against that.
I do not think so.
However, you don't get any bonuses as Magdalena does.
No, I have nothing. So did you say coordination?
Coordination to try and slip out if you wish. As Magdalena grips you tight, but I want to see if you'll be able to get out of this.
Pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So
you
And
are-
I'll pull her off Vince basically, and be like, anyone want to help? I am helping. Look, I am helping.
Turning my head and trying to bite Magdalena's arm.
Yeah, that's kind of why she put you. That's kind of why she put you in that grip, because your arms are like this and your head's, forward. Yeah, that good old, like classic.
So she's like thrashing around. She's trying to bite your arms. She's frantically pushing around, and you're holding tight, Magdalena, somewhat dispassionately, apparently. And Dr. Garupji, pull it away. You've got your syringe.
I would eat her right now, but she tastes awful.
Let's try to sick her and knock her out.
Yeah, so you won't know. You won't. You know what? Give me a quick attack check on that, please.
Sure.
If you've
Does
got
he
melee,
get
that's what we can count this as.
any
And
help
you get a
because I'm
bonus
grappling?
if you grapple.
Yeah, cool.
And I do have melee, and I do have lucky shot.
Very nice.
There it is.
Oh, nikes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you've hit the lucky shot as well. So where do you want to aim? You can aim there basically
just-
wherever you like for free. So
Yeah, just the basically an incapacitating stick, so that the stuff goes right into the meat or the bloodstream and takes her down.
So, Miss Fairchild, you feel a sting as you seem to have been stabbed by something thin and cold. And you feel the rush of something entering your bloodstream, that strange feeling. And could you give me a vitality check, please? This will be harder, however, as the doctor has managed to hit just where he needed.
15.
You're still conscious, though barely, but you're feeling sluggish, weaker. Your mind is spinning. Your eyesight is blurring. There's all of this taste that's dulling inside of your mouth. And the images in front of you begin to look more like people that you know more than food as you're in this semi-lucid state.
So hungry. She's kind of squinting, trying to have them resolve into people.
And they do look like the vague forms of at least two of your friends. Delilah, Verrucht, you see them. You're still hungry, but that feeling is lessened as you're sedated as you are. You're not asleep. You're clinging to consciousness thanks to your training with the mourners. But they don't just look like food anymore. And the strong taste of blood in your mouth is very prevalent. And whilst you're not fully yourself right now, that seems to be a blessing.
And she'll just close her eyes and try, like, to recall everything that's happened and try and just, like, take stock of herself and what she might have done.
Yeah, could you give me a very quick intelligence check, please, on that?
Okay. That's an 11.
Okay. You're beginning to try and puzzle it together. You see red. You saw a lot of faceless things that looked delicious. You bit them. You enjoyed it. And you heard the scream. And the warm blood in your mouth, and you suddenly realize what that is. That is human blood. The current morsel of meat in your mouth. Human flesh. The warm blood is an interesting flavor to you.
She can't bring herself to, like, spit it out like her brain is telling her she needs to do, because it's food and you don't waste food. So she swallows kind of, like, slowly, like, you know, when you're taking a pill you don't want to take. And it's still just got her eyes shut because she can't look a human being in the eye right now. Well, one eye shut, the spookum eye doesn't shut, obviously.
So, Doctor, and the rest of you that are near the site, you see Miss Fairchild look very dizzy, close their eyes, and you see the muscles of the throat work as she swallows a morsel of flesh. And it's at that time that we will skip over towards our other group, the ace detectives of Tilly Griffiths and Arthur, who are both making their way through the back end of the place. The light that you have is still very small, but you are making your way between crates and crates and crates that seem to just roll on as far as you can see as you walk. And you have lost sight of Dr. Varuk's light by this point. You have lost sight of all of them as you have made your way deeper in. And it's about that time. Could you make me a wit check, please?
Oh, it's perception, right?
It certainly is.
Good. 17.
Okay, on a 17, you suddenly catch what sounds to be almost like the clip of a boot heel around the corner of one of the grates and further down from you. Off to your upper left, you feel.
Yeah, and with my hand in front of the light, I'll basically signal to, like, that way.
Yeah, he
And
nods.
press myself up against one of the crates and peer around, see if I can see a movement.
Okay, so you peer around and you sort of creep your way around the back end of that crate, and you peer around where you believe you heard the clip of the boot heel. Could you give me another quick wit check, please? Perception again.
Mm-hmm. 15.
Okay, on a 15, as you look down, you don't see anybody. And it's about that time that you hear a shot ring out, just from your far left. And
Okay.
let me just quickly do this good old rolling stuff.
Okay.
2d10 plus. Okay. All right. So on a 13, it will hit an unaware target as you see Arthur get caught by a bullet. And let's see how much he takes. Now, guns are not nice in this system. I will remind everybody of this. However, luckily, it seems the first shot rings out from behind a crate, strikes him in the side, but he twists out of the way just in time, and... Yes, okay. He seems to hold his ribs as he sort of collides with the side of the wall. And he's like,
I pull him to get cover behind me. Broken ribs, common in this profession, I think. And look at where the shot is. He does.
Okay.
And I'll try and figure out where that shot came from.
You quite clearly heard it. You didn't see it, but it seemed to come from just off to your left behind one of the other crates. It seems they may have been baiting you.
Okay.
But you do hear a voice as, after the shot, coming from just ahead of you to your forward left, you think, as it echoes quite a bit. You do hear a voice that simply says, "You should probably stop chasing if you wish to keep your lives."
Hand over the mask and yourself, and we might.
I'll tell you what, come and have a look at it, and sure.
Come out where I can see you. And I'll keep my eyes trained to the ground, slightly.
Put down your guns and we can have a lovely talk. Let's just say that that shot wasn't the worst of my toys I have upon me. And why is this thing so important to you? What do you get out of this?
While we're talking, I want to try and very quietly begin to walk.
So give me a shadow check.
Okay, I do have shadow. It's not very good. I have it. I have a 2 in. Okay, all right. Here come the rerolls. Oh no, that's good. 18.
Pretty good. So give me a wit check as well, please, as you try and sort of wind your way toward where you hear this echo coming from. You
22.
are definitely sneaky, and you do pick up where it is as you begin to make your way away. And Arthur kind of doesn't move with you, as he's just like, he points to his chest and just kind of gesturing that he can't be quiet.
Before I leave, I just say, "You talk, I go."
Oh, I can talk. I'm good at that bit. How can we be sure that you put your guns down? You just shot me in the fucking ribs. Well, you don't exactly have the position of power here, detective, do you? Besides, you're of no consequence. The one I wish to speak to is the other one, the cat detective as they're known. Right, yes, except I've solved a lot of big cases and you're about to be the next one. So, take that.
In her head, she's like, "Excellent trash talk, really spectacular."
He's also been shot. He's doing his best.
Even more time for what's that when you've been injured. Am I seeing do I see anyone yet?
And as you make your way around some of the crates, you do see the feet of someone, seemingly.
Ah, good. Excellent. A trail. I shoot their feet. I quick aim and shoot.
Okay. Just give me a shot.
So that is I have 3. How much is it for aiming?
Your quick aim, I believe.
It's it takes an action rather than a rank to so fast aim.
Yes, let me just find the quick combat reference sheet. I believe it's, however, a +4 if I remember rightly.
Excellent. So. And yeah, that's a 19.
Very nice. That's a hit. Could you give me the damage, please?
I can. That's +6, right?
Mm-hmm. It's the damage of your gun, so it depends on what your gun is.
It's a pistol. Oh, that's a 23.
Very nice. So I'm going to make you re-roll that.
Okay.
Because they will use one of their own second chances.
Yep. That's a 19.
Okay. So the shot hits, and it hits hard as you shoot towards their feet. And it does hit. And their foot takes a large shot to it as you see part of the shoe blown away and blood on the ground as they shout out in pain.
And with my final action, am I allowed to take a final action? Because I have 3.
No, you are not, as now we're entering combat. So,
all right.
Could you please give me a very quick roll and add your prowess to it?
That's fine. That's +8.
Mm-hmm.
20.
Very nice. Okay, and they will also be going for their own. Let me just get back up to this. /die. 2d10.
Guys, please catch up soon. I'm very scared.
Okay, luckily for you, though, you are going first, and we'll stop you there for now. As meanwhile, all the way back with the cannibal, the vampire, and the doctor. Delilah.
Like a bad joke.
It is, yes. Delilah, you see this scene in front of you. It's quite disturbing. And as all of you have finally seemingly subdued Miss Fairchild, you hear a gunshot echo through the warehouse. Followed by another gunshot that echoes again.
Guns. Not as bad as the printing press. How healthy does Vince look? It's just out of curiosity. Does he look
healthy. You could say
he doesn't look snackable?
He has one.
Oh, fine, okay. I won't try to beef up before I
Anybody's
go.
snackable when you try hard enough, Magdalena.
It's true. I just don't want to... He knows other ways out, and I want to know those other ways out, too, so I don't want to eat him to death. Though it might be wise at this point, because he's seen some things. Well, I'll figure it out later. He's not going super far.
He isn't going too far.
Yeah, so she'll say, that is Tilly, she's probably in danger, we should probably help.
But what about Vince? Won't he die? She looks at like.
Oh
the
no!
doctor.
Here, and she'll hand him a handkerchief. Hold this to your neck. Apply pressure. We'll be back very soon.
Right. Yeah. All right. And I'm bleeding a lot though. It's a lot, like a lot of blood.
Oh, you'll be fine. I think you have enough. You're not going to die. I can tell. Trust me. I have much battlefield experience.
All right.
Yes, you'll be fine. Stay there. Don't move.
I'll
remain calm.
I'll see to it that you get paid extra
I'm really not calm.
for.
I'm quite panicking, actually. I'll be honest with you. Nobody's
Just
ever
take
given me
deep breaths. Don't hyperventilate. And I'm gonna go quickly but quietly. Dead in my footsteps and quickly go to Tilly.
So give me a shadow check and a wit check, and you begin to try and wind your way through very quickly. What about you, Lana? What about you, Doctor? What are you doing? And also, are you letting go of Miss Fairchild?
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know as well.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that.
I'm going to reroll my stealth check, which was the
reroll
11.
your stealth and with a second chance. But more importantly, are you keeping Miss Fairchild with you as you were the one restraining them?
No, but I definitely throw her to the ground first, as she's super dazed.
So you throw the dazed Miss Fairchild to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Much better. 19 stealth, 12 wit.
Very nice. So you begin to make your way through silently, quietly, and quickly, as the rest of you see Magdalena hear the shot and immediately just and then disappear into the night.
I just look very confused, Doctor. How good is your sedative?
It's should have taken her out, but I assume the condition she is under has given her some sort of superhuman resistance. I hope she is down. We have a monster to hunt. And the doctor is going to use his quiet and he's going to try to slip off into the shadows too. He's like, Miss Fairchild's hobbling. We can outrun her. We'll take care of her later. And we gotta go.
He says as you vanish into the shadows as well, and he's like, I mean, you're not going to leave me, are you?
Did you want to? Miss Fairchild, are you possessing of your mind? She slowly tries to pull Vince back because
the ghost as well.
Miss Fairchild will push.
I've never seen a possessing him before.
Her knees and just kind of sit there for a moment.
No, I meant as in if she had her wits about her. In possession of, as in to have, to own.
I know what it means, yeah, I'm like that.
Yes.
I've been bleeding a lot, and I'm very lightheaded, and I've been told there's a monster up there, and there's gunshots, and
he's not really a monster. It's just a Curios that, makes people want to kill people. She slowly drags him back.
You're both talking really fast.
Oh. I'm
I
sorry.
have to look at the hole you made in my neck.
Apologies, Vincent.
Oh, well, you said sorry, so it's all fine.
I'll pay you extra.
That's
Can you
not
pay me
how
in
that
neck?
works.
And find you a doctor.
He ran off, he says as we're going back around to the others. Doctor, you are making your way through. Magdalena, you are making your way through quietly and stealthily. And Tilly, you are currently engaged in combat. So at the end of each one of these rounds, we will go to the other guys for action. But Tilly, you are back where you are. You're going first. You struck the foot. It seems to have hurt the gentleman, who still stands, however. You're muted.
Do I see any more of him at this point?
You see their feet, and you see their legs, and you see their blood.
Okay.
You
Is
look up, you can,
Time
I'm
to
not
shoot the other foot.
and then you see legs.
Okay, I see legs. Excellent. I'm gonna use. So it's an action to move, right?
It's not an action to move. You're generally assumed to be doing a bit of movement. The only action to move would be if you were going a significant difference, whereas you're not. You're just literally nearby them. So
Okay.
you're not too far away.
I'm guessing we're at kind of like a corridor, and I'm like.
You are, yes. You're in between rows of crates.
Okay. I'd like to make a move to dash over to the other crate, and as I'm doing so, take a quick aim at maybe a more significant part of his body, like his
Okay,
torso.
no problem.
And then,
So yeah, you're running. You go behind a crate. You aim up, and you go for a shot. Go ahead.
so that is another.
Okay, cool. So that is another hit.
Mhm.
Give me the damage on that, please.
That is a 22.
Very nice. He'll take it again as you hit him, and he sort of just and takes another strike to the leg this time. And as he
The chest,
begins to try and twist away,
if that makes.
immaterial, it still it still hits him.
That's fine. And I call out to him. Are you sure you've got the upper hand, sir? And I take one more shot. Oh no! Am I killing the wrong person? Oh well.
And it's as you hear that, and there's that confusion.
Okay. Oh no!
Off to your right,
Mhm.
you see a jolt of something electric, and you see the legs of another person. Grey with white pinstripes, as they fire their galvanic gun towards you.
Oh, great.
I would like to take my free dodge, please.
You can certainly try.
I
But let's see if they hit normally first.
Okay. Have to be a 30 level.
As if they don't hit, you don't need the free dodge.
Mhm.
Okay. And they will be quick aiming. Okay, you need to beat a 25.
Oh, okay. Let me just have a look at something because I do have.
Okay.
I can do it with a +6, but I need to roll very well. Oh no. Okay. All right. No. You're muted.
So your options are you can basically try and roll through that as you did, or you can make them re-roll and see if they get worse.
I think I'm gonna need to do that. Yeah.
Okay, so use a second chance, and
let's
they will re-roll.
Please don't hit me like that again. That was very bad.
Okay, they get even better that time as they get a 26.
All right. Great.
You have
Go on.
more if you wish to use more.
One last reroll. Please stop rolling 10s, please. Please.
Okay, you will re-roll again.
This is where you crit, and I'm like, I.
Here we go.
Oh, God. Oh, thank
That's
God.
much better. What is your coordination?
3.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so it meets, so you're fine. So you hear this fizzle and you see a jolt of what looks like almost lightning hit the crate next to you, which explodes into pieces. And then he'll take his second shot.
Yep, this is where I die.
This time without aim, as he cannot. But +4. There you go. Okay, so an 18, unfortunately, is going to be a hit. Do you wish to sacrifice an action from your next round to dodge?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, give it a roll.
That thing just exploded a freaking crate. Yes,
It did.
please.
It is.
That's not
No,
cool.
it's good.
That's very bad. Oh no. Okay. Oh. I thought that was. Oh, that was very bad. No, it hits. I'm dead. Bye.
Do you have any?
I don't have any.
Okay. All
I'm
right,
done.
so this is going
I'm
to...
out. Yep.
Oh, oof, okay, you're lucky. On 19. So the galvanic rifle kicks up and blasts you directly in the chest. You are set staggering 10 foot and you collide with the ground. And could you roll me 2d10s very quickly, please?
Does my I'm guessing my armor doesn't count for anything.
In the case of this, it pierces armor.
Okay, great. Good to know.
Oh, piercing round.
Fantastic. That's an
Very
11.
nice.
I may have broken
Essentially. What did you get? An 11? On an 11, you feel the jolt of lightning collide with your chest. You feel it run through your body, scorching part of your armor. Your scent flying, and you feel your ribs broken as you collide with the ground. Take 1 vitality damage, and you go down onto the ground. So,
Great. Fantastic.
and at which point, I will leave you there for a moment as we'll go back around to the other guys. But before that, I'm just going to quickly double check this tweet. As I think we may have a wild magic surge. Yep, we do. We've got a wild magic surge. So, thank you
Because
everybody.
it's vanilla.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Update that for some reason. It says 30 retweets, but whatever. It's cool. There we go. We're just updating the tweets rapidly. Here we go. Here we go. 20. Right, and here we go. Now we can activate this. So, let's have a look at your list for wild magic surges then. 2 surges.
Okay.
Oh, I'm ruining my game. I'm kidding. Is it that one? There we go. So we will go for Miss Fairchild and we will go for Dr. Varut. Could you both roll me a d10,000 each, please? We'll go first with Dr. Varut, if that's okay.
All right. How does one roll a
Slash
d10,000?
9 space 1d10,000 and then you're
How
fine.
many zeros is that?
5.
Thank you.
4.
4 zeros.
4 zeros.
Oh,
Okay.
Sorry, I'm dyslexic. Don't trust me.
I'm
Okay,
just
so-
calculating.
I put the command in RP mix chat if you want to just copy it over.
I like that there is a great Bok command now. I live
Oh
for
no,
this.
they're both in the 9s.
But there is no Lord Bar.
9.
Prejudice
Oh,
against
Wow,
war.
9,000. So first up, we'll go with Greybeard. So that's 9, 6, 4, 8. So on 9, 6, 4, 8. Dun, 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 dun. Let me find this out for you. So 9, 6, 9,
I have
6,
it
9,
if you need it.
4, 8. It's all good. So someone nearby has a legitimate claim to the throne. Okay.
It's me! To the throne of Wallachia. No wonder my father wanted to talk with the queen tomorrow. No.
So it's as you're thinking that you look back and you see a strange resemblance suddenly in Vince to the previous king of England.
Oh my god, no!
And you see he's got a badge on it, and it seems to be one of the ones from King Charles.
Oh no. I almost ate a royal. This is
And it says that my dad was a king,
yeah.
Oh my
but it seems
god.
several this time.
No wonder he was in
Vincent
royal
Fitzroy.
purple.
He's royal purple.
Oh.
'cause
It makes
He's
sense.
fancy.
He's fancy,
He's
Vince.
the fanciest. And
I bet he
on
tastes delicious.
Oh
Probably.
god.
No wonder you couldn't resist.
Eh, no,
And
they're
on
really
9,
good.
8,
It wouldn't taste good. Yep,
Was it 9849?
9849.
Yes.
The entire area is located over a gargantuan termite colony.
Ooh,
Oh,
no,
Okay.
no,
And it's as you
No.
sit there
oh,
and this blood is dripping to the ground that suddenly you begin to see little insects begin to creep out from the cracks in the floor all around you, Miss Fairchild. And the same with you, Varuked. All of you who are a bit behind see these things as you begin to see termites winding their way out from the cracks and beginning to amass in a large-scale mass. And they also seem to have a strange tinge to them and seem to lock on to the closest sign of life. And Doctor, could you give me a very quick medicine check with a +10, please?
Oh, the +10? Nice.
With a +10. This is very much your thing right now.
I will gladly do that. Oh, okay. So, wait.
Oh,
That's actually...
Plus a lot.
Yeah, and I needed it, though. Oh, my God. What a horrible roll.
Okay, on a 17, you know what these are. You've studied them once. These are termites that had succumbed to the plague. They are all animates. Every single last one of these things is an animate, and they've been chasing life down here in these underground tunnels. And it seems you have found a swarm of zombie termites that seek out the closest form of life and begin to chew them to death.
And do I know, can these termites spread the infection?
They can, yes. If they kill a foe, then they will rise as an animate. Spontaneously, in fact.
Oh, for the love of all that is holy. Damn it.
And you see these little writhing bodies begin to make their way over to you, Miss Fairchild, who's currently on the ground just looking at them. And Fancy Vince kind of looks down at you and looks at them and just goes, "Not again. Now this ain't happening again, not these things," he says as he goes towards you and tries to pick you up and help you walk, Miss Fairchild.
I will get to my... Miss Fairchild doesn't really react to bugs, but oh my god, I'm itchy now.
I just want to say real quick, how very noble of him.
Yes, so
very.
very noble.
So noble.
So unlike so much of the aristocracy. Yeah, she will, do her best to get to her feet and help. On that note, do I have to roll my impediment? Because I guess this would count as severe physical and emotional distress.
I think this would count as severe physical and emotional distress. Could you roll me a quick check as Vince tries to pull you up, but he's moving you away from the zombie termite swarm?
I'm gonna re-roll that. Yep.
Okay, use a second chance. Give it a reroll. You have plenty of them.
Hey, I'm okay.
Okay. So you keep yourself together and your heart doesn't bother you too much. Luckily this time, it aches and it hurts, but you're keeping yourself under control. And it's as you're being sort of hefted up and you're trying to make your way away with Vince, and you can smell that blood. You can taste it in your mouth again. It's delightful, but you're very weak right now with the sedative in your system, and there's all these termites behind you that are all running after you all the way through the room. And Vince is currently carrying you away with you. He's helping you run.
Does anyone have a lighter?
Run!
I'm running. I'm like, does anyone have a lighter?
No, no, but we need to run. Those things are evil. Trust me. They killed me and all my brothers.
The doctor's gonna go ahead and move ahead and try to get to where he saw the galvanics device.
Yeah, you're running ahead, and you will make it towards where you saw the flash. In the distance, you see and you see a figure there, and then you see that figure plunged back into darkness again, into the pitch black of the room, immediately after he'd shot off this device. And it's about that time that we'll go back around to Magdalena. You have made your way through, and you get a whiff of something terrifying, something familiar. You can sniff a weapon that was used against you once in your last war that you've been in. You smell termites. Zombie termites.
Oh. Well. Gross.
And you see them almost like a wave in the distance.
I'm just gonna keep quiet because they can't sense I'm here because I'm half undead. So I'm just gonna keep going sneaky on forward. Sucks to be people back there. But I'm like, oh wait, it's friends. Well, I mean, I'm not killing them if I leave them.
Okay.
Termites.
Charlie did a bane. Okay. Okay.
Charlie, we did not need that this finale.
So
Oh,
you
apparently
my
love is
friend.
pain. I'm feeling so loved. So very loved.
So you just did a bane. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to remember.
Ask her, Miss Fairchild.
Termite man is already a bane.
Invited.
Okay. 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 A bane. A bane. Let me remember how a bane works. I've
Just
never
something
heard this.
negative. Like a boon's
Okay.
a positive. A
Yeah,
bane's
I
a
guess that
negative.
much. But if it's anything negative,
Increased difficulty. Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
The pain,
We
the
already
bane.
got termites.
Termites,
as-
cannibals,
It's as
galvanics.
you are kind of creeping around in the dark, Magdalena, and there's the termites behind that you've smelled your enemy. It's at that time as you're creeping that you bump into something, a person it seems.
Eat them. No, I don't. I gotta look to see who it is.
Yeah, I found you already. And you know this voice. This is Van Belsing, the cousin, distant, removed by 7
Ugh.
times. Of
Yes, I eat him. I just eat him. I nom eat him.
That's what
He's
you
my
say,
dinner.
but my blood is laced with garlic.
Ugh.
I thought ahead of you again, just like every time, Magdalena, and now this time you will die.
I will
He's
just shank him
a
with
very
my
skinny, short man
sword.
with sharp eyes.
Stab him. Mr. Garlic Blood.
Ugh. Well, that is where you're mistaken. I'm immune to stabbing.
We will see.
We can, he says as he draws 2 stakes. And you see the stakes both have like a slight green and white covering to them as he's garlicked both stakes.
Ugh. Ugh. No. It's a good thing there's termites here. They'll just eat the stakes. It's fine. Can I actually just chuck him towards the termites?
We can get to you. Could you roll
Just
the prowess?
Yeet them.
Yes.
Yeet the vampire
Yeah.
hunter.
Eat those garlicky sticks. It'll be fine. Yes, prowess. I can do that. Oh, that is the shittiest prowess. That's
He's
fine.
going before
I'm saving
you
my
on
rerolls though.
15. Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead. Beat a 15.
No, I'm not. I gotta save my rerolls. I feel like I'm gonna need them with this galvanics gun.
And we're going to go around, so we will go in order of what's going on. So, Dr. Baruch, you're making your way towards them. You will join in the next round. Miss Fairchild and Delilah, you're running away from a swarm of termites behind you with Prince Vince.
Vince the Prince.
And, Vince the Prince. Vince the Fancy Prince. And you also can see and hear this distant flash and the shattering of a crate. And we'll go back around to Tilly. So, Tilly, you're still going first. Just before this other person, and the one that you've shot in the foot is still kind of is going
That's fine. I'll use the screams to basically I'll get up off the ground, like wheezing.
Good. It's better if you'll start up for this.
And can I see them?
You can see their feet and their legs, yes. Though vaguely, it's very dark.
Pinstripes, right?
Pinstripes. Definitely pinstripes, at least from what you saw when there was the flash. They are now sort of absorbed themselves in this darkness around them.
I'm going to try and make a perception check to see if I can see them properly. Keep an eye on them.
Okay. So you can make me a wit to try and spot them in the darkness.
Yeah, that's fine. 24.
You keep an eye on them, you can see them.
Alright.
It'll all be easier if you just give in. Look at me.
Are they facing me? Can I see the lady facing me?
They are, yes.
I'm gonna try. I'm probably gonna die.
That is Unhallowed. Also in the distance, you can hear the sort of scrambling of many tiny legs and screams and shouts. We don't have much time. They have disturbed the ancient mound.
What? Ancient mound?
Zombie termite.
She's. I'm not gonna fast aim. I'm just going to take a shot at them, and then I'm going to try and hide. I feel like that it might be a better idea.
So you're going to, in order of your actions, so you're just taking a shot and you're going to try and hide.
I'm going to take a shot to see if they try and dodge to get them away, sort of looking out away from me, and then I'm going to try and dash off and hide.
Okay, cool. So give me a shot first.
All right, let's see. Plus 14.
So you shoot out. You don't hit on the 14.
Okay. Understood. Gonna run and hide. I need backup.
So you shoot, and then you run to try and hide. And you begin to make your way behind the crates and try and tuck yourself away. Could you please give me a very quick shadow check?
Yep. Not the best. That was shit. 7. Don't have a reroll. Let's go.
Okay, so you tuck yourself away, but you're bleeding quite heavily. You're wheezing from the shattered ribs that you've got going on. You're hurting, and we'll go around to their turn. So Arthur begins to make his way around the crates as well, and will begin to try and find them, and is looking out, and is still speaking as you hear him going, "Wherever you are, I'm going to catch you and you're behind. Bars in no time at all. Just put your weapons down." "Oh, I can't do that. That would be dull. Move quicker, detective. The termites are coming." And then they will try and find you.
Oh, good. They need such good luck.
Unfortunately, they do manage to spot you. You don't quite see them having done this, but you're sort of tucked away in between these crates. You're hiding away, and it's at that time as you're hiding away that you hear the buzzing and the whirring of the electronic gun once again as it and fires. And
Sorry. Go
well,
on.
of course it is. I mean, you got plenty of Devil's Own looks at least. One every session, so have one save. As he's going to only be able to attack without his aim. Still hits on a 16, unfortunately. Do you want to try and dodge?
Free dodge. Yep.
Go ahead. Give a free dodge and give that check for me, please. Trying to beat a 16 with your dodge.
Screw me.
Very nice. You manage to duck out of the way as he spots you, whirs up the gun and fires, and you manage to twist and duck out of the way, and then the second shot will ring out as they will go for it again. This person is very mean.
Yeah.
And you're looking to beat an 18 if you wish to. You still have your actions from next turn. You can still sacrifice one to dodge.
I'm going to sacrifice one to try and dodge.
Very good. Give me the dodge check. You're beating an 18. 20. So you expertly dodge out of the way of two blasts from this thing. And you see it shattering towards you. You duck out of the way. You twist out of the way. You stumble around the corner and into a safe area of cover momentarily as you see just bits of wood and stone and metal just blown through the air.
Oh.
And at which point you're going around to Magdalena versus the Vampire Hunter.
Ugh.
Van Helsing, as Van Helsing looks at you and goes, "You always were the slower of the two of us," as he takes out both of his steaks and will go for two
More
garlic
like I'm
steak.
just bored. You know I'm not contact allergic to garlic, right? I actually have to eat it.
We'll see how you feel about that when it's in your bloodstream.
It's literally just my digestive system.
Shush, monster, he says as he will go for an attack against you with his first
It
steak.
just shows your ignorance.
As he misses at his second steak. As a 16, I believe, will hit you.
Yeah, 16 will hit me.
Okay. Are you going to try and dodge, or are you just going to take this?
No, I'd like to riposte, though.
Okay, sure. So you have to parry to riposte.
Do I have to parry to riposte? Okay.
You have to have it
Well, then
missed to riposte, or you can parry riposte.
Ah, well, then in that case, he missed the first one, so I guess I can riposte that one?
Yep, you certainly can.
Excellent. Yes.
Goes for the
I
stab.
do a free parry too, so I'll give it a parry and a riposte. Let's do the parry first. That's
Certainly.
coordination, right?
It's your melee weapon skill for the parry.
My melee weapon. Oh, great! And I'm a duelist, so I have a +3 to
Yeah.
parry.
You
Excellent.
parry with your weapon, essentially. And you just have to beat their score.
Sweet.
So you look to beat a 16.
Oh,
You don't have
no.
to carry in time. He's like, aha,
No,
through your defenses. But your own sword whips out with the
Yeah,
riposte.
and
so
I'm gonna
you
try to
can-
stabbity him. So. Stabbity stab.
Just whacking and stabbing and whacking.
Oh, I'm gonna re-roll that. I need to stab this
Okay,
schmuck.
so you get a second chance on your riposte. Go ahead.
God fucking bless.
So, Van Belsing goes in for the strike with
It's okay.
both.
I still have my
Dodge
action.
out of the first one. You manage to go for a riposte. He steps to the side and goes, an opening, as he then strikes you with the stake, aiming for your chest, as he will do.
Yes.
His weapon plus his vitality is only 4. Still an 18, however, but what is your armor?
I do have. I have 2 chest armor.
Okay, so that's only a 16. So a 16 will only be a flesh wound. So you take a wound as it strikes you,
Ow.
but you're hurt, basically. You'll be taking negatives on your next rolls that you do. But you're bloodied by the strike, and he goes, your turn, monster. Your turn, monster.
Yes, I would like to stab him.
Yep, sure, that's a good tactic.
Yes. Plus melee weapon. Come on, Magdalena. Does a 14 hit him?
So you go for the strike, and you see him duck out of the way expertly. Aha! Slow.
I still have 2 rerolls left. I'll use one. Fucking stab him. Die. Inconvenience. There. 17.
So you hit him as you sort of swing
Excellent.
past and then twist your blade.
So my
and
first
strike him
swing
in the side.
is a 22 damage.
So you hit him and you see him go, drat, my broken ribs.
Mm-hmm. And then my second swing is an 11. Oh my gosh, what is with these rolls?
Alas, your second strike has done nothing, creature.
Yes,
first hurt
your ribs are
my
broken.
ribs. I will break all of yours individually, one by one, like I am playing some sort of...
So far I have mere flesh wound. He's not that bad.
Fine, I'll take out the better weapon, he says, and you see him heft up a greatsword,
Oh,
which seems
you're
to
so
have...
small. Can you even carry that? Oh,
I've trained all of my life for one perfect swing with this weapon, and when I activate it upon you, you will die, foul beast. This has been bathed in the holy water for over 100 years, ready to strike you down.
I think you'd be rusted if it bathed that long in water. I think you are making it up.
I'm not. And it's about that time that we will go back to the other lot. So you're all running away from termites. So I'm going to all give me a very quick vitality check, please, to be running away quick enough from this. And Doctor, you will be joining their combat at the beginning of this round. So can you please roll me your initiative, please? So that will be your prowess plus 2d10s.
So you said vitality?
Vitality, yes, for yourself and Miss
All right.
Fairchild.
Cool. 16
Same.
for both of us?
Okay, so you're both keeping pace as you're managing to kind of stumble and stagger and run away from this swarm of termites that's still going in behind you. And you see somebody kind of
Yeah.
comes out of a side room to a toilet, and they walk out and they go, ah, and then they're taken in by the swarm and immediately mulched.
I have a question. Is there any bit of perfume left in my perfume bottle?
No, it's all over you.
She kind of thinks
You're
about
very
it, and then
flammable, however.
yeah, she thinks about it. And I was like, oh, I have an idea. And then, as she's running, to peel off one of her perfume-soaked gloves. I'm sorry, Ned. And then, continue to rip bits of her clothes as she's running, as she's slowly making a cloth thing, cloth rope. And then as soon as she's and I have Mickey's lighter. You just throw it behind her and
you light it and
Keep running.
throw the flaming glove behind you, and you do see it get engulfed by the many termites. There is some smoked termites now. You're trying to kill the ocean by throwing a stone at it. That's the equivalence.
attempts of the May. Yeah, oh my god, my body is crawling.
And soon they will be too, as they continue on towards you, but you're managing to outpace them. But there's horrible little noises of everywhere around
Stop that.
you.
No
Very
sound
well.
effects. No sound effects. For the bugs.
But that's what you have as you hear that behind you, and you're still sprinting away for all of you. These very vicious termites that seem to be zombies chasing you relentlessly, tirelessly. They don't need sleep, they only need to eat. And we'll move back around to the combat as, what did you get for your roll, Greybeard? So you got a 14. So you will be going just after Tilly and the villain, but you will still be good to go after that point. So it will be Tilly's turn. Tilly, you're behind a crate. The villain is around the side of it. The one who wears the mask, they've just blown apart 2 entire crates and nearly killed you, but you've ducked between the different shards of things that are flying out, and you've made your way around.
Okay. How far away am I from this person?
Roughly about 10 foot.
Okay. I'm going to back up a little bit, and I'm going to fast aim at the weapon that it's holding, and I'm going to try and shoot that
Okay,
god
so you
down.
will have to look up to see the weapon. They seem to be holding it quite high whenever they're not firing it. As if very aware of your tactic.
Retroactively. Sure. I will look up.
Okay, so you look up towards it, and you feel a creeping sensation in your gut, but you do see them, their full form, and you do see this massive galvanic gun they've got that they are holding towards you near their shoulder and aiming up. There you are, says the voice, as you see the strange mask in the peripherals of your vision with these multiple eye holes down one side of its face, and a thinner one on the other side that seems to cut around the side of the face slightly. And you see no eyes beyond them, but you feel all of them upon you.
Okay.
And could you give me a very quick will check, please?
All right. 22.
Very nice. You managed to, for this round, put off the effects of the mask, but you've still got your action. You've aimed up towards the gun.
Okay. I'm going to shoot the goddamn gun.
Okay, give me the shot, please.
Take his stupid thing
You
away
managed to
from
be a very hard shot, so
16.
won't be enough to hit the gun. Do you want to... Can you push in anyway?
I don't... Can I? I
Have you
don't
got any
know.
more rerolls?
No.
Okay. You can give yourself a corruption for a reroll if you wish. Or you can just take the missed shot and try again.
Can I hear A, termites, B, people?
You can't hear the termites yet. You can hear people as they're very loud.
All right.
What's your decision? Are you re-rolling and taking a corruption, or are you just leaving it for this turn? And you can try again next turn.
I'm gonna need my corruption later. I feel
Probably,
like I'm probably gonna need it later. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna take another shot.
Okay. Take another
way.
shot. Without aim.
Shot. Yep. 20.
Okay, that's much better as you do manage to shoot the gun this time. Can you give me damage, please?
Jesus. Please, bot. Please.
Nice.
Chicken boy. Oh. Yep.
So you aim up, you fire, and it does hit the gun, and it seems to ping off the metal plating of the gun.
Yep. Great. I'm
That was a
dead.
good shot.
Not good enough. Never.
No. At which point, he aims up. You see the whirring of the gun again, and he fires his gun. Here we go. Okay. Okay, lucky for you, it is a 13, which I believe you can beat. As he fires, you manage to duck out of the way, and on his second shot, he takes another one as he aims this time towards you with his own quick aim, and will have a bonus to this shot, unfortunately, but it means he doesn't get his other action. 2d10. Okay, a 16. Does that hit you? I believe so.
It does hit me.
Would you like to dodge?
I would like to free dodge, please.
Go ahead, try and dodge. Be a 16, please. Please.
I say that's fine. That's fine.
That's fine. Okay, so you managed to duck out of the way in time as the shot whirs past your face. You feel the heat of the bolt striking something in the distance as it shatters another crate. You hear coins flying everywhere from some sort of foreign coinage that was held in one of these crates. And at which point it will be going around you, Dr. Baruch. You can hear the blasts. You can see flashes going on. You can see the carnage that is happening here. There are crates just exploding into many different pieces. You can see the massive wave, the ocean of zombie termites behind you. And as you look to your left, you see a massive statue of a golden chicken that seems to have deflected one of the shots.
Doing quick math in his head, is there a way that he could tip the statue onto the guy, just for dramatic effect?
Probably. If you pushed it really hard, you could possibly push it over towards them. As you do see sort of Tilly in the distance, and you see him next to the statue of Lord Bok, as he's still got this gun that's whirring up still as you even speak.
All right, I will go with the original plan. And the doctor wings open the great coat, which has something hanging from a strap, which he had the servant help him with earlier. And you heard the clack and rack of at one point. And he says, "See, Americans, they are shit at science, but they really know things about guns." And
okay, so you go for the shot as you pull out the massive gun of the gangster, and you let off a round of shots. So it's as you do. Could you give me the shot, please? And this does get a multiple shots on this, so you could do 3 shots this round with that gun.
Okay, all right. Now, I do not have submachine gun as a skill. So, just what stat
do you have? Machine guns?
I do not. In any way, I have pistol. I can take the stock off this.
It's a bit bigger than a pistol, so you'll have to roll it unskilled, unfortunately. But you can roll 3 times unskilled.
All right, so 2d10 3 times.
As you let rip a hail of liberty upon them.
1.
Okay, first shot goes wide. Second shot goes even wide and off the golden.
I'm trying to do it one-handed Rambo style. I'm not. There's no shame.
It's a very powerful gun, and it has way too much.
It's at least a
kickback.
good distraction.
There it is.
All right. He's not really aware of your other shot as you let 3 shots out quickly from the side where he's not expecting it, and your third shot strikes. Could you give me a very quick damage check, please, as you fire out these 3 shots, and the third strikes him in the chest? And could you please give me 2d10s plus 7?
Okay, I was going to say I did not have the damage on that.
Because Liberty hits hard.
That's right. Oh, yes, it does.
Nice. So it does hit as you, and the third shot seems to hit him in the chest as he kind of staggers back slightly, still holding the gun and sort of winded from the shot as you seem to have damaged him, but not quite taken him down, unfortunately. Okay. Your friends are here then. Delightful.
Yes.
And we brought a little slice of America.
I hate America. Liberty seems to gain a +2 to the next shot thanks to that statement. And thrives off of that. So, but that will be your turn, unfortunately. As the rest of you, Magdalena, the vampire hunter, looks at you again and brings out the
I look impatient. I'm like, I really have better things I could be doing right now.
like dying, he says, as
No.
enemy of over 50 years will go for a strike.
Like how old even are you at this point? Surely
He's like
you're not in
65,
Yeah,
70
he's not
maybe.
prime
He started
at
very
all.
young of being angry at you, but he was only a child at the time. 2d10s. Okay. As he will go for a strike with the sword. And again, with his second strike with the sword. So both of those
Alright.
hit you.
I'm going to try to free parry the first one and riposte it.
Go ahead.
So that is plus 6. 16?
So you match. So unfortunately, as you go to swing, you just collide.
Okay. It's not meets it, beats it. Okay.
No, you have to beat them. So
Okay.
unfortunately.
That's fine. I try.
You did,
take
especially with
riposte.
this kind of sword.
Yeah.
You taking them, or are you going to use a reroll?
I only have one reroll left. I might need it. So, because there's still
What do you use it?
gun maniac out there.
Mm,
So,
Your
but I
choice.
could kill
You
him
want
on the
to use your-
riposte, maybe. So, okay, yeah, I'll try. I'll try to reroll it. Hold on.
Okay.
That's a good point. I might be able to
It is
shank
also
him
the
real
holy
good on
grail
that riposte.
So very much
No,
be careful.
that's worse. That's worse. It's not that vampire killing dagger though. So.
No, it's just a massive great sword doused in holy water. As he will swing that at you, and he goes, I can only swing this one time successfully with all of its wrath, but here we go. And he swings and he breaks through your guard. Your sword pings off of it, and he goes for the strike.
Only I
against
had
you.
my regular sword instead of this puny saber.
And you say that as the massive great sword of vampire slaying will hit you for 21 damage.
Ow. Ow.
And as you are a vampire, can you give me a vitality check, please?
I can. See, I knew I needed that reroll. I knew it. I knew I needed it.
So you're hit by this sword, and as you do, your eyes roll back, and you see what seems to be some sort of place full of light, and you see white winged flying down from the sky, and you feel chains all upon your body as you are locked in place. And then suddenly that image passes, and you see yourself frozen in front of the Slayer, whose blade is shattered into many pieces as he kind of puts it to the side and goes, I told you it was a good sword. Now then, Magdalena, this is our final fight. We should share a meal, he says as he pulls out some garlic bread. And that will be his turn.
Okay.
Magdalena,
Dignity.
you can give
I don't
me...
know why I didn't do this sooner. I'm going to, since he seems to be so keen on talking, I'm going to make direct eye contact and
He looks at you in
just.
the eye all the time. In fact,
I'm
like,
just-
constantly.
Yes, I'm just going to mesmerize him.
That's a good chance. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm concentrating, so this is going to be a good roll, hopefully. Come on, dice. Don't fail me now. 16?
Mm-hmm. Okay. 16. All right. And yeah, is that crits all around I'm seeing? If so, great. So each of you do have a crit. So there you go.
Oh,
You can use it on rolls, not damage. Okay, so on a 16, you break out as you sort of look at him in the eye, and you still stuck, but those eyes lock onto his, and you see him immediately take it in. He's not got a very strong mind, as he seems to just stare at you.
yes. I'm like, yes. Just. Ugh. I'm just mesmerizing him to not do anything. Just stand there.
He stands there and does nothing, and you then begin to hear the many termite legs.
Oh, actually, I just mesmerized him. Like, why don't you help me out? There's termites coming.
Oh,
We should leave.
of course.
They're very bad.
They are.
They are undead termites.
Oh no.
I know, you hate undead. They're like vampire termites. Thousands of them. A whole colony.
And speaking of termites, can the termite group give me some more vitality checks, please?
Yeah.
Termite squad.
No. Mm.
And yes, you have all gained a crit as well, so keep that in mind.
What is a crit first and second if I can't
A crit
do this
is you get a
correctly?
critical success whenever you want.
I think I'll save that. Do you mind if I use my reroll, though?
Yeah, I'm gonna reroll that as well.
I don't want to get eaten by termites.
No.
Use your reroll.
Hey! Crit.
That's nice, so you're making it away.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna use that crit.
Okay, so Delilah, suddenly your innate fear of bugs that you suddenly have kicks in, and you begin to sprint quicker than any of the rest. You completely outpace Miss Fairchild. You disappear into the darkness, and you continue to run. You're diving between crates. You're rolling. You're ducking. You're jumping away. You see your glove in the distance seems to burn up 10 more of these termites as they continue to go around, and you see there's a swarm of termites in the glove that are making it come across, and so you're almost being waved at by your own flaming glove, but you're making it away very, very quickly, and you've left them completely behind. And it's at that point that you see Magdalena stuck still in a pose, staring at a strange, short, slightly rotund man with a great sword shattered at his side and a bit of garlic bread in his hand.
As I see this, I look at the man, look at Magdalena, I look at the garlic bread, I'll just grab it out and throw it at the termites, like, eat that, you disgusting little things! You remind me of shrimp. She's allergic to shrimp. But
Okay, so you throw the garlic bread.
there's nothing else to throw, okay?
You throw the garlic bread into the swarm of termites.
Nothing happens.
Next up, Miss Fairchild, you're still making it away. And Magdalena, you see Delilah appear out of the blue, grab the garlic bread, and just
Thank
throw
you.
it over the shoulder.
Is Vince still with me?
Vince is with you. He's helping you. You've currently got
Okay.
like your arm over his shoulders
Good.
as he's running with you.
Yeah.
He's like, "We'll get out of here. We'll get out of
I
here. Don't
need
worry."
assistance.
Yeah, he's helping you. He's a gentleman. He's a royal gentleman, a prince, in fact. He couldn't leave you here as
and he
you are
tastes
being
so
sort of
good.
dragged away by them. And yes, speaking of, as you're running away with Vince, despite your self-preservation instincts, could you please give me a very quick willpower check to see if you can actually not just get chowing down right now as you're left alone with them.
Can I concentrate on it? Or...
You can concentrate on it this time.
Yay! Thank God! Yes.
Nice. So you managed to concentrate and luckily not eat Vince as you're continuing to pull away with these termites just eating everything in their path. And about that time, we'll go back around to the combat. So, Miss Tilly Griffiths, you've seen the gentleman take a shot in the side. He still seems healthy, however.
Okay,
He stood with the gun.
all right.
You've taken your eyes away from the mask, I'm imagining, by now.
Yeah.
You saw a giant golden statue of a large chicken next to you.
And because it worked well before, I'm going to use my crit. I'm going to
Okay.
play as I'm like stumbling and like clutching
Crit
my
shoot him in the head.
I am gonna lean on the statue of bark with one hand. I'm gonna aim my gun. I'm just gonna fire. I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna rely on the good Lord.
Fuck.
Please stop being mute.
Give me a D5 check, please.
E5. I don't know how to do that.
Flash down space, 1D5.
E5. That's a 1.
Okay, so it'll be the head. Okay. So could you give me the... Well, you've already hit with the shot. Can you give me the damage, please? And with
So-
it being the head, you can add a +5 to this.
Okay.
You know you're shooting up heads as well.
That's 20. I'm
So on a 20, you shoot, and you seem to have a shot that goes directly through one of the eye holes of the mask, and it strikes them just near the cheek, it seems. And you see sort of this mist pour out from where the hole is, where the other eye would be, and they roar out in pain. They're still alive, but they are hurt. Very hurt. Anything else?
Next actions?
Sure.
I take my hand off the block now. Give him a pat. And I will fast aim. Look up.
Cool.
And try and finish him off.
Willpower check.
Alright. 12.
Okay. You look up, and as you do, you feel something stir within you as the darkest parts of you are pulled closer to the surface for a moment to gain a corruption. And lucky for you, your obsession in your work, and this is work, so it doesn't affect you in any other way currently.
No. I just look at him. I will put you in the ground, no matter what. Do you understand?
You can do as you wish.
I do wish. And she fires.
Go ahead, give me the shot, please.
That is a 7.
Okay. And you quick aim and fire. Where are you aiming to?
I didn't specify.
Just the chest? Okay, cool. Just the chest if you don't specify, so that's fine. Okay, give me the damage, please.
Yeah.
So that will hit in that case.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you shoot him in the chest, and he coughs out and staggers backwards, and you see he is on the last shreds of his life as he's taken these shots, and he seems to be a broken body of a man, but seems to still be standing, this gun in hand. And we will go around to the good doctor. Wait, no, it's Tilly. Then it's the villain. I'm not going to go for it.
No. The Lord did his work. The rest is
He looks
fine.
at you and he looks to where the shot came from, and his first action is going to be to shoot the box statue to topple it to hit Dr. Varut.
Betrayed by Bok.
Penalty for blasphemy.
Oh no. So he will hit, so he just needs to do his damage to topple it.
Heresy.
That's enough damage to topple the statue, as you see him first of all turn and fires off a shot. It hits the head of Bok and it rings out, and as it hits it, you hear the bark that it gives off as it's hit. They seem to have perfectly tuned the metal so that it boks every time it's hit. And Doctor, you're stood behind the Bok statue, the massive golden chicken statue that's the size of, almost a small building, and it hits. You hear a bark. And then suddenly you see it toppling down. Could you please give me a very quick coordination check?
Doctor, please don't be killed by a giant chicken, even if it is Lord Bob.
Please.
Please. Please.
Well, you
We
deserve
said Bok be with you. We didn't mean
yeah, literally.
anything like this.
Let the Lord into your heart through your external.
Oh, okay. So that is the Lord Bok statue is going to get you in that roll. Do you want to re-roll?
So I can re-roll,
Yes.
but I
to your
can't use
corruption.
my crit for this, right?
It's a save. I'll allow it. Usually you have to declare your crit before the roll, though, just for the rest of you. From this point forward.
I'll re-roll. I've got 3, so
You got plenty. You corrupted.
oh yes, yes I am.
I feel you.
There we go.
Okay, so this time you do avoid most of Lord Bok damage. I will half Lord Bok's damage for you.
Okay. Alright.
This hasn't used your action, by the way. So
Oh,
just
Would
saying.
that be a butt or an ock?
And if I hit, was this like a melee attack? Because I have footwork, and I could.
This is a falling object, so unfortunately not now.
Okay.
Lord Bok isn't punching you. If he was, you'd be dead already.
Yes.
You've watched Fist of the North Star, right? That's basically how it works when he pegs you. So I will half the damage of Lord Bark to a healthy 5 instead. And Lord Bark luckily looks upon you with fondness as you see it fall on top of you. You duck out of the way just in time, and you see you land in between his clockiness's neck and wing perfectly. And with its second trick,
KFC again. Oh,
with his second trick, he will turn and fire a shot towards you, Tilly. He's not going to aim this time, so he's just going to do another 2 shots instead.
I would like
but
to
both without the aim action. So you're doing a 17 and a 16 if you want to try and dodge.
try and free dodge then, please.
Sure. So the first one is a free dodge. Give it that. You're trying to beat a 17.
Oui, oui. Alright. 17. That means
Okay.
still hits,
So
right?
unfortunately, he will be hitting as you haven't beat his score. But what I'll do, I'll let you have that for the second shot rather than the first. So you dodge the second shot, but the first will hit. So, dun 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 dun. He's going to go for the shot. Okay. The damage on it, however, is only 16. As you're struck, you are wounded once again. You will take negatives to your next rolls, as you take a serious wound, but you're not quite damaged enough by that shot. And with that, we will go round to Air Doctor.
All right. The doctor will step out from under/behind the Lord Bach to be on the same side as said masked man, and critically shoot him with the first
Go
shot.
ahead. So you go ahead.
So it's
Give me the damage.
7. The +2 from the from Liberty is damage or to hit.
It was to hit. But could you please give me a D5 check, as you haven't declared a location, but using crits, so we'll treat it in that way.
Okay. All right. D5 is like a slash and die 1 bean 5. Oh, Evan.
Yes.
Okay, head.
That's the head.
Go ahead. Give me the shot.
Yes.
+5.
So it's the damage with a +5. So it's your gun's damage of Liberty +5, so 7 + 5. So you don't need to roll much to kill them.
Yeah. So, oops, wrong place to type that. So +12. Oh my god. All right, dice. Don't fail me. Woo!
Nice. You will. All right, Doctor. So you stand up on top of Lord Bach's statue. You climb up onto the golden chicken. You look down at this puny individual below you who tried to slay you with his holy cluckiness's entire stature and build, but no, it is you who is on top. And you point out with your gun and you fire out with Liberty. And as you do, you almost in the back of your head, just at the back of your senses, you begin to hear what almost sounds like the American national anthem, even though you heard it. And the shots ring out, and they strike the gentleman in the head, first of all, and then ring down his body as his gun goes wild, and a shot rings out, hitting the roof, which begins to tumble the cavern down in towards the other end of the place as he falls to the ground.
Always shooting the roof. Okay.
Yeah. Behind that, you just see like a battered Tilly. She's covered in like her own blood. Her clothes are shredded. She's like stumbling and but she's got this look, just this fire in her eyes. As she looks like pretty much.
And speaking of fire in their eyes, meanwhile, Magdalena, Miss Fairchild, Delilah, and also the other two, you suddenly see this wave of zombie termites getting bigger and closer by the moment. And you see Vince kind of look around and he goes, oh, it's coming down, we need to get out of here. We ain't got much time.
How do we do that?
We need to move quick.
Do you know a way out?
Yes, straight ahead at the back. And then there's some tunnels. There's quite a lot of tunnels. It'll take a while to get out, like a lot of tunnels. But if we get through, we can drop We could drop the doors. We can flood it with sewer water if we need to, and we can run the fuck out.
All right, let's just go that way
That's a good
then.
idea.
Let's go. He stays and starts running.
Wait.
Could you all make me a talent check, please?
Wait, did you say sewer water? And she's just
Magdalena.
running like, what?
Yes.
You're still locked in place currently.
Yes.
Do you want
I'm
to give me a
gonna
check
reroll.
if your eyes
I would like to
Mm.
crit
Did you
it.
see this? Okay, credit. Yeah,
Crit.
you're out.
Yes, I crit it.
You were out. Credit. Thank God for you, because otherwise you would just die.
I'm just
Yes.
Gonna, no, I'm going to say.
I am
Okay, so you
better
take
now.
And all
And
of
I'm
the
gonna
rest of you,
snatch
I'm
up
gonna
that hilt of
place,
that
but-
sword if I can on my
Yeah,
way
you pick
out.
up the greatsword's hilt as you begin to make
Yeah.
your way. Could you make me that vitality check as well, then, please? And also, Delilah, you are unfortunately falling behind with that. But you crit, so you're not in contact. You're ahead of the other two. But Miss Fairchild and Vince, the two of you are making it
12.
away, just sort of stumbling and running together. And you see the two of them walk through, Vince heroically trying his best. And you, Magdalene, on the other hand, you finally get out of it as Miss Fairchild and Vince are running by, and you hear the scuttling of many legs behind you.
Ugh. Yeah. Thankfully, I am a dampier, so I can move pretty fast. So I'm just
You certainly can.
booking it.
So you begin to book it out of here as all of you begin to run away. So could you all give me another vitality check, including the other two, as you suddenly see this going on? Do you do anything else, however, before you run? The termites are kind of taking over the area.
Grab the mask.
Is the gentleman still like barely alive on the floor?
He is, yes.
Right. I would just walk up to him and begin with my gloves on, ripping off this mask. And as I do, I want to lean down and whisper in his ear, "You know, I once felt guilty about the work I did. I feel so guilty anymore. Thank you." And she just
You're welcome, he says, as you pull the mask off.
and I'll tuck it in a bag. And I'll begin to run.
Okay, no problem. And you begin to run. And all of you sprint to the back end of this building with Vince sort of guiding you along the way. And yes, Varuk, anything else?
Since the Tommy gun is actually strapped to
You
his
want to
body,
grab that galvanic skin, don't
he
you?
lets go of it and, for science, and grabs the galvanics on the way out.
And you take galvanic rifle
science.
with you on the way out as you're running, slower than the others as you're making your way out. And you begin to make your way towards the end of the room. And you do see a door, and you see Detective Arthur Murray already having the door open as he kind of gestures for you all to go in. He goes, "All right, come on, I found it. Let's go.
As we go past, you know, the near body, how badly damaged is the baddie?
He's very
Any
bad.
part of
Oh.
any rippable?
Don't worry, I have snack for
sections?
you.
Just,
Because
the
the vampire
jaw.
hunter's running with me, right?
yeah, just literally
Jesus.
as I'm being dragged past by Vince, just reach down and just try and rip
Oh.
something off.
Wait, no, the vampire hunter wouldn't be, because you told him to stay very still and do nothing.
Okay,
Oh.
well, yeah, and then I told them to get me out of there, so that's
Okay,
fine.
okay. So in which case he's helping you out then. And yeah, you've made it there. And you do see the jaw is kind of hanging off slightly from the gentleman.
Gonna just try and rip it. Like literally, as I'm being dragged past by
Yank the jaw
Vince,
up.
I just grab hold of it and let Vince drag me away, so it just comes free, and I will just gnaw on it a bit.
Cool. So you pull off the jaw leader.
Miss Fairchild doesn't
Darn.
have a garlic allergy, so she can eat this garlicky dude.
Yeah, sure. As you're kind of chewing away on the jaw as you move out. And you all begin to run as you see these termites take over the entire area. And the door is slammed shut behind all of you as you hear sort of the colliding of many tiny bodies against it on the other side, as the detective is sort of panting and looks around at all of you. What did you do with them?
What?
The one who was shooting us.
Yes, he's dead. They're dead.
All right.
If he wasn't dead before, he is now.
I think we should move very quickly.
We should, yes. And you do. You are led by Vince slowly out of the tunnels, though it takes around 2 hours to get out. He eventually finds his way out, and you emerge in Upper London. and you find yourselves back in the open air, as much as it is open air, with the light smog passing through once again, but the cool feeling of wind brushing past all of you. And you have the mask.
I'm just gonna tuck a quite clean jawbone into my coat subtly.
Yes, would you mind having a cap?
What part of the town are we in? Are we like in like the middle of like out some secret entrance? Are we in the outskirts? Like
You are
where
on the
are we?
outskirts of the city. So
Okay.
you're on Upper London, but you're on the outskirts of Upper London. You've come through one of the many service tunnels. That's why it took so long. You had to wind your way up it, because it's very high in the sky after all. So
Just I look around and I kind of see if there are any carriages to wave down.
you do see some.
Well, if that is the case, I'll just kind of like, well, I suppose she just kind of pulls out one of her handkerchiefs. Cab, please. I'd like to call some cab.
Could I have shanked this Van
this how you
Helsing
do
son
this?
of a bitch before we left?
Yeah, you can.
Van
Yes.
Belsing.
Yes.
Van Helsing.
Van Belsing. Nice, shank him.
Okay, well, if you do go and do that, however, the detective does turn to you and draw his gun.
I would have stood back a bit.
Okay,
I tried to
okay,
do it
'cause if
before
you did that in
emerging
the
into the
open,
air.
you'd be
Yeah,
not
no, I
having
wouldn't have done it in the open. I tried to, but I
Okay,
probably
so
would
you
have
go
been
away.
like, "Oh, we're
So you
emerging."
go.
Okay.
Okay, so you do it subtly and throw him back into the back down the stairs. I imagine, as you
And I'll just go over to Miss Fairchild and be like, "There is a snack right behind us if you are hungry."
Miss Fairchild just ignores it, just like
Very-
not engaging with this, not treating this as a thing. Firmly in
Saying-
denial,
and
while
you
tucking
make
a
your way into
jawbone
the
into
oceans.
her coat.
The oceans into the streets, not into the oceans. That'd be bad. And you manage to hail a cab, and the cab appears, and you get inside. Where do you wish to go?
To the museum, please.
To the museum. Okay, so you all make your way to the museum. The detective, however, kind of looks over and goes, "You do what you need to. I need to go and file a report and all of that."
As you will. Detective. Get
Be
your
safe. Oh no, they're heavily broken. I feel like shite. I also don't know if I'll make it there, but I'm going to try.
You just flex him a pound. Hey,
I mean, we have a doctor. Do you need to get doctored before you go?
No, I'm sure a drink will do me some good, and then I'll just be fine. Ow.
Okay, he is
Oh.
very good doctor though.
Oh yes, and I can write you a check now. Finally.
If it helps, I don't think it was you lot that shot down the dome. You're cleared from that.
Thank
Oh,
you.
that's
we can
nice.
get back to work. Thank you, Detective.
Why? He says and moves away as he begins to limp away through the streets of Upper London.
I don't feel so very good about seeing a man limp away like that.
I do. He's
I
fine.
feel like
You
it's
limp
something
with
that shouldn't be
confidence.
done. Oh dear. By the way, I'm like very as far away as I can from Miss Fairchild while still within the group. It's like I'm on the other side, hiding sort of behind someone.
Fair.
What were you saying, Dr. Brew? Because you were muted.
You're muted.
Still muted.
You're muted, good doctor.
I try to like yell to a newsie or an urchin or a shoeshine boy or someone.
They don't have many of
Shan
those
boy.
up at this time.
and
Newsie.
say go and get the death watch. Tell them there are zombie termites and animates coming from that way down the thing. And I describe the alley or whatever.
No.
Takes a handful of small coins and chucks it at the boy.
So they're assaulted by coin and they collect him. Oh, crazy. Thanks for the coin now. Says the walk away. Like,
If you won't help, run. The dead are coming. and
Let me handle it. Boy. And I
nah, you look more crazy, he says and just walks off.
Oh, he did not
I'm
make
getting
eye contact.
involved in this. He says.
I'll get the next one for you.
Should we not call for something? She still kind of like waves her little handkerchief, like,
You're in
anyone?
the carriage.
We're in the car now.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Then why were we calling for a boy? Where were we?
They can
Is that
run
just
alongside. It's fine.
Oh, fair. Okay, that's fair. I was confused for a moment. Like,
Oh, you're in the carriage and
so-
you make your way to the museum. You're going across to it, and that's soon after that you make your way to it, and you arrive outside of the Museum of the Curious and Strange, occult.
Is Vince still with us?
Yeah, he's with you. He's kind of sat there. Oh, this is journey, innit? Oh, I haven't been up here in ages. Last time I was here, I was nearly,
Well, here,
It's all
let me
looks
get
good.
you a new handkerchief, and I'll do a handkerchief swap. And I just wanna take a little taste.
He tastes royal.
Mm.
And as you taste him, you see him in a very, very extravagant outfit as a child, almost. As you see these strange flashbacks, and you hear next to him the song of "God Save the Queen," and you see the coronation of Victoria II, as you see her having the crown placed on whilst quite young, and you see him stood at the side, and he kind of goes, "Oh, I'm right proud of my sister." And then later, you see him later in life, as he
Vince.
stood in an alley, and he's getting drunk, and he's like, "Oh, I'm right not proud of me being betrayed by my sister." And then
I believe we should talk later.
oh, really? Yeah, all right. I'm into that.
Business. Yes.
Yeah, but he says oblivious.
Miss
to all
Fairchild
of
looks like so about to say something and then realizes she does not have the moral high ground anymore and will shut
Yeah.
up.
And he like hums Rule Britannia as you're making your way towards the museum. And you make your way outside the museum, and you all are there. The doors, as usual, are closed, but the lights are on inside.
Tilly will stumble. Well, she'll try and get out as best as she can, but she's not really bothered about digging.
Help.
I'll help if you would accept.
Okay,
She
so
breaks
you
her.
all stumble your way up.
I'm not.
towards
For being hit by a holy weapon, I'm not in too bad of shape.
No, you're not. You're just very beat up. But you all make
Yeah.
your way up, the ragtag group that you are, returning to the place in which you were given this assignment initially. And you make your way up the stairs, which all feel like a pain. And Vince stays behind in the car as you make your way up to the doors. And they are opened as soon as you arrive at the front of them. And you see the curator inside, and he looks at you all wide-eyed. Are you all right?
1 out of 3.
Yes. Fine.
Hold up the bag.
Great.
What?
Doing
He says he takes it and he
well.
opens it and he looks inside.
Don't do it in
immediately
the
and
open. You.
he looks
So
and he kind of
stupid.
just goes, "Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you," he says, and kind of gestures for you to come in. Come in. And he goes inside with the mask and puts it back in the bag.
I'll go up to him. Quick payment. I want that bear. I want that bear. Really badly.
You want the bear? If you want the bear, you can have the bear, he says, and he makes his way towards the back of the room. He grabs you the really weird-looking bear, and he gives it to you. Here is the bear of Carrie.
Yeah. She takes the bear and
Kill bear,
Immediately,
stay!
corruption is stated completely for now.
yeah, she buries her face to it and begins to not very quietly cry.
Okay. This is rather awkward. We were to talk business, but if you must cry, we can talk another business day.
Just give me a moment, alright?
Yes, she
I was
is.
not very good at crying people, but very well, he says. Do you want a cup of tea?
Yes.
Good. I'll get you some cake as well, he says, and he goes to the back, and you see him disappear into the back of the occult artifacts room, and he seems to open the big metal door at the back and then close it behind him as he leaves you all in the museum with each other. As you stand
Fairchild is going to
surrounded,
try and find a chair for Miss Griffiths and hobble it over.
you
Just
do so.
drag it.
I'll start healing wounds and whatnot,
Yeah.
working on wounds.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep my ears out for anybody else in the museum who doesn't belong here.
Nobody else is here. At least as far as you can see right now. And as tea arrives,
Tilly will eventually put the bear down, and as soon as she puts the bear down, face back on. There's tear tracks, but there's just nothing. Back
Sounds
to
like I
business.
missed the bear.
Offers a
And it's
handkerchief to Miss Griffiths.
And it's as this happens that the tea arrives. He comes out with the tray. He puts it down. He locks the door behind him before he comes out, of course. Puts it down and sort of gives each of you a cup of tea, and puts the cream and sugar on the table, and also takes out a cake. It seems to be a very nice black forest cake. And as he puts it out in the middle and begins to cut a slice for each of you. In celebration, thank you. This means the world to me. 1 of 3 is still a third there.
I suggest you don't let it happen again.
I do not intend to.
If theoretically one to be taken in by that mask, if it got into their head, is there a cure?
Rehabilitation of a psychological kind should usually do it. The mask, he says, and he does sort of like gesture. He's taken it into the back already, but he kind of gestures broadly. It brings out the darkest part of a person. It draws them to the surface and makes them do the vilest of things, or not. Perhaps they're only needing to do things such as shopping and they spend all their money, or perhaps they very much love eating and they say they eat a lot of cake, things like that.
Miss Fairchild drops a cup of tea.
Yeah, I wince when he says
I look
eating.
over
I'm like,
with a little sly, smug smile. Just,
Apologies, and I
Edging
start to
further
pick it
away.
up.
So the yes, so the mask itself is a tool, you could say. It is like a weapon. That effect should wear itself off with time. Some rehabilitation is good, but the effect should pass within around 24 hours, roughly. You will feel exhausted, however, and you will be more susceptible to the mask in the future. But yes, the first time, if you're concerned, is not usually something that drives one too far from the edge, though some commit horrific acts in the deed, and of course will continue to. But if it is a brief look, you will be fine.
The doctor didn't have any tea or cake or anything. There's too much wounds and too much peeps to take care of.
That's fine.
Yeah, but doctor, my ribs are broken.
That's terribly common.
Really?
I just nonchalantly steep the royal, like the tea bag and the handkerchief into the tea, and that's what I'm.
That's some old
oh my goodness.
Literally.
Good old English tea.
It is. It tastes delicious.
What are you
Step
planning
of Earl Grey.
now?
What was that?
What are you planning on doing with the mask?
Containing it somewhere safe. I've put it in the back. It's within its vault.
Does it belong
I've also
to-
upgraded security somewhat.
Good. So there are 2 other artifacts. I have question about one of them. This knife, this dagger.
Oh.
Do you think
Yes.
you could draw it for
The
me?
Dagger of Eternal Bliss, yes?
Yes, that
Is it?
one. Could you
Yes.
sketch it out?
He says, and he sort of rifles through some papers that he's got and goes, I'll do one better. He says, and he hands you a photograph of it.
Ah, thank you.
I was searching
Is
this
it-
up. You told me to
Does
look
it
for
match
them.
the description of the knife that Mickey saw when someone broke into the
The
house?
curved one?
Give me an intelligence check, please.
Yes, I will do that.
Do you mind if I look over her shoulder as well?
Yes,
Because I'm like, oh.
You can also do an
16.
intelligence check. But with that, Magdalena, you know it is. It's the same. It's got the same strange wobbly curve to it. And there's the same, like, fuller that runs down it as well, which is seemingly goes with the curve. And the hilt is very familiar, and at the end, it's the serpent's head.
I see. Oh, do you happen to know any good swordsmiths in the city? You repair antiques, I'm sure, from time to time.
I know some antiques people, yes. Not really any
Yes.
blacksmiths in that way.
Okay,
usually
what about
forgery.
antique repairs of antique swords?
Yes, Delilah.
Might I know anyone, given my husband's extravagant interests and our weird circle of inventors and
You know some forgers
like.
and things like that, some blacksmiths that work on parts for the planes. You don't know if they can do swords, but
Might
you could
I
ask.
know anyone, given that I'm carrying
Yeah.
around 2 Exculpus on my person?
Yeah.
The
Maybe
mourners.
someone in the guild?
You know somebody in the guild who can make swords. After all, like nowadays, swords and the like aren't really common to be made. Nothing like that is really usually made around here. They're usually just bought because there's loads of them out there already from the other wars. But you know a smith, yes, the person who custom makes all of your exculpuses, because those specific blades are made in a very, very delicate way.
Miss DeVille, if you need a swordsmith, I might know someone. We can
that
talk
would be
about
lovely.
it later.
Yes, please. I have a
You
sword
might
that
be able
needs
to help me.
repairing.
We'll discuss it later.
Anyway, yes, so that's the dagger. There is also, of course, the all-seeing crown, the third artifact. He kind of takes out another picture, and he shows you a picture of a crown. And the crown looks to have these almost curved barbs on top of it, and it seems to be made of, you can't tell what metal because of the sepia shading to the picture, but it looks to be a darker metal, and there seems to be many eyes engraved in each of these little things that goes up.
Papa's is
all
better.
around.
I'm sure.
These are the last two. The Dagger of Eternal Bliss is said to, in mythology, he says, kind of scrolling through a few other pages, it is said to be a dagger that can cause revolution, that can incite in someone a union of thought and mind and purpose. It brings forth people, enthralls them to its will, and makes them into the basest of pleasures.
How does it do this? Do you have to stab them? Or...
It doesn't really say.
Okay.
Nobody tested it, really.
Well.
No one wants to stab themselves.
I have hunch.
Would it make them become faceless?
No.
Then what would?
Nothing. He says, looking a bit confused.
Well, she kind of looks around. Unless someone stops her. We were attacked by someone with a dagger of similar description. They had no face.
What? That is...
Very peculiar blood as well.
That is concerning. Definitely look more into this. I will see if I can find anything else in my tomes. I have a few on the subject. In fact, they will take a long time to decipher, but I have been working on them whilst you've been going about your business. I will see if I can find anything else. I'll see about my contacts as well and see if there's anybody I could find who may know more about this sort of a thing.
Miss Delilah, did they have no eyes?
I'm trying to comb back through Delilah's memories, which are usually just a lot of worry. And
they were just...
Do I remember what Mickey said? And do I remember what I saw?
They were completely faceless.
She just,
no eyes,
she just,
no nose, no anything, just soft flesh.
Yeah, she shakes her head as she looks Julian. No, there was nothing. No features, it was as if their face was just a piece of skin.
A strange train of thought, but the crown of the all-seeing eye, does it require a sacrifice? Does it change?
I will need to research it more. I think if all activity for tonight is done, you should enjoy your tea. You should go and recover, especially if you have been seen by a person wearing this mask. Rest up for a while, recover. Besides, there's a lot to happen in the city. We can always deal with it another time. Rest up. And we will wait until we have more activities to explore. Until then, I think this will be a suitable amount of returns for this moment. When I have more information, I will get it to you, but it shall take a month or two at the most. It's a lot of ancient texts. I suggest you keep your ears and eyes sharp in case of any activities from the artifacts. And otherwise, go about your lives. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
So-
You're so helpful.
Are you taking help on the research?
On the what?
Are you taking help for this research you have to do?
No, I think I'll be fine. It's very tedious work, and the texts are very delicate. They have to have a hand that knows them. And after the robberies, I don't really have anybody else in the back. You must understand.
Will the offer of help is
You're very quiet.
Who are you saying that to?
You're very quiet. You sound very distant from your mic.
Really distant.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
What did you say?
She just says if you're looking for any extra help, just say I'm a fast learner and I don't do well sitting around waiting for a job.
Well, you will have another work, I'm sure, but yes, I will get in touch with you if I need your expertise on anything as well.
A month or two
Yes.
is no time. It's nothing.
No. And hopefully they may be active next week, so maybe that will be a thing.
I would hope not, because they struck at my home.
Yes. How did they strike? They attacked you. Have any others had any
With
similar
dagger.
experiences?
Oh, I received death threat. It's very rude.
Bother. What
As
happened?
did I.
He stays sort of interested.
There was a weapon left on my bedside table, and not.
Oh.
It said, basically, I kill you.
They're dreadful, he says. And takes
She's
a
not
sip
gonna
of his
say there was a stake with a heart and a picture of it going through it.
It was a heart and an eye, but yeah. So-
Yeah.
What about the rest of you? Any similar experiences?
A threat was left in a secure place where I keep valuable things.
I see.
These things were threatened. I did not enjoy it.
Right.
I was
Dreadful.
very offended.
Person was taken from me.
Hmm.
They put up a fight.
I see. Dreadful. Was there any other signs? Note you said you had.
Yes, it said to cease investigations.
Curious, he says. Well, regardless, you've all done a great service to me. I appreciate it, and I have work to get on with, it seems. Have a good evening, all of you. Get home safe, he says. You can let yourself out. I trust you with the artifact. Just make sure to put the latch on when you leave, he says, and gets walking out. And you see him walk out of the room and go back through the area with the occult, and will head to his large door, where you sort of see him pull the curtain back so that he's covered, and he opens the door. And you hear the loud closing of it.
Miss Griffiths?
Yes, Lady Berkeley.
What happened? You looked
I-
ever so distraught.
Dr. Verut,
Yes.
the gun that you took,
Indeed.
it was shot at me many times.
Yes.
Some of them hit a higher power. I feel ensured that a lot of them didn't.
Okay.
Eventually, in, the intervention of Dr. Verut was the end of that man who took the mask. That's all there is. All there is to it.
I
Great.
see.
What?
She kind of reaches over and give tentatively reaches out to touch, like, give her hand, like, a little thankful pat. If you, like, retract, she'll, like, pull back.
Okay.
Like, yeah, if that's the case, she's gonna put her hands on me, like, you've been a hero again. I'm only sorry I couldn't help more.
I've done my job. That's what I do. I do my job. And I still have a job for you.
Yes, that.
If we have 2 months to do, then I can do that job for you.
I don't know what to do until I at least get my husband back.
I know what you can do. You can help me get audience with Queen for tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
Oh, good God.
I could, yes. Oh, good.
That would be
Oh, goodness. What time
lovely.
is it?
Audience with the Queen? Whatever did you
Yes.
ask for?
Oh, I do not. My papa does.
Your
And what papa wants, papa gets.
Right. Right.
I should. I'll see about contacting someone right away.
Thank you. That would be very lovely.
I only hope I can make it.
Miss
And on that
Griffiths,
note,
If I need to, I can assist in matters. People find me very persuasive.
what were you saying, Baruch?
Miss Griffith, I would. You will not be alone this evening. You'll have someone there in case there's troubles or nightmares or anything such as that.
What are you talking about?
Sometimes these things leave bits in the mind.
Doctor, with all due respect, I don't forget things. Ever.
Yes, so hence the memories will be there for all time.
And I don't think the person sitting next to me is going to do a great deal. At this moment.
If
But the
ever
offer
you,
is, it's appreciated.
I have studied the mind, and if you do indeed have any symptoms or such, please do not hesitate to call.
But besides my broken ribs, I find myself in good spirits. So, I suggest we all get home, get some rest, and get to it whenever it calls back to us.
And it's on that note, we'll cut away from all of you here. We'll cut away from the group, the party, as such. And we find ourselves across the city in an unknown location. And inside stands many people. Tens upon tens upon tens. All without a face. And on a makeshift throne at the end sits an individual as they flick a knife over each of their fingers and count how many they have. And elsewhere, we see an older lady, one seemingly tied to a chair in a room. Their captor left a while ago, donning the mask that they always wear. They haven't returned. And they never will. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and chickens and more, is where we'll leave this campaign. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Thank you so much for being along this journey with us. And yes, well, keep your eye out. And yeah, but that's the end of this particular story. So, we're gonna go around. We're gonna hear what your favorite moment of this game was, and give us a couple of your favorite moments from the campaign if you have any, and let us know where we can find you and who you are, as we will go around and say our goodbyes for now. So, Delilah, favorite moment from today, favorite moments of the game, and where can we find you?
Okay, just one favorite moment. Oh god, again, this is difficult as usual, but more so I just realized it's our last session vibes. Okay. Favorite moment of this session, I think, was probably that shame of like Miss Fairchild swallowing that little bit of meat. Yeah, that moment as her humanity returned to her
great.
just enough so she knew exactly what she was doing, and then slowly like that shame and that disgust with that hug. Oh, that was such a beautiful moment. I couldn't. Of course, as usual, Tilly was MVP. 2 epic badass showdowns, girl. That was amazing. Like, oh my god. Okay. Really bad. Hey, you're amazing. Anyways, sorry. Favorite moment of the campaign. Oh, good. Oh, great. You know, we've always had issues finding like the one thing for like a session. I'll try imagining the entire campaign. This is
Yeah, that's why I'm giving you the challenge, because that way there's no way in hell that Greybeard can't have something today.
Oh yeah,
which
that
is the main
is
reason I'm doing that.
Okay, so my favorite moment in this entire I think it was probably like the beginnings of the gang war. I think that was like something that was quite special for me, having like, you know, Magdalena and Miss Fairchild like doing the "ooh, you're a monster" thing, especially with what just happened today, and like the little like that particular session was great. I love the little dual dating thing going on, Dr. Vert and Tilly. I love that. Like, I loved when we all kind of paired off, and that was a really good moment. And just seeing that role reversal there was poetic. Yeah.
Definitely. And where can we find
and yeah, I was like, I think I forgot something. I'm Lark Lauria on Twitter, and I'm Lauria Lark on Instagram. You can sometimes find me on Twitter. Sometimes when I look at it, or Instagram where I post pictures of my cat or food, whichever one strikes my fancy. That, and this Saturday you'll also be finding me with very red hair, a much surlier expression, and I can actually be useful. As I will be yee-hawing with some cowboys in Hollow's channel. That is the other place you can find me. Yes, that is me.
Okay, thank you very much. And we will go over to the vampire.
I couldn't wear my
Magdalena.
fangs today because I'm sick and I didn't want to get them all germy.
It's okay.
But yeah,
It's okay.
so
We'll get through it. It's all right.
we'll get through it. We'll be fine. I managed to do pretty good on the mute control today. That
Yeah, you
was
did great.
so amazing. I had a blast. Nobody died. I was real concerned there for a minute. I feel like the duel between Van Belsing and Magdalena, she was just like, this is really just such an inconvenience. Could you just go off and like die of more like old age already or something, you stupid short-lived humans? But favorite moment from tonight's session was 100% Miss Fairchild digging into the neck and Magdalena having that moment of eye contact, like, oh, no, I'm not the only one who digs in. Hypocrite much? Like, that was so good. She's going to love that moment for a very long time.
Oh no.
Of like, hypocrite much? So that was my favorite moment of tonight. Everything was so good though. And I think one of my favorite moments from the campaign, it's so hard to think. There's so many phenomenal moments, but I really liked the date with Ricky and everything that went on during that. Escaping out the bathroom, eating a couple guys, coming back, being annoyed that my ear got shut off, and just Tilly playing Russian and Magdalena not quite being able to figure it out because their disguise was so good. The doctor just being like, all right, I'm out, peace. And then Delilah just being worried throughout all of it, and Miss Fairchild going, oh, you're not human, and Magdalena's like, oh no, you found out. So I loved that whole episode with the dates. It was just phenomenal, and I didn't eat Ricky, so he's still alive and out there somewhere to come back.
So far.
Yes.
Yeah, that was amazing stuff.
You can find me online at LaughLoveLindy, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Any social media site, pretty much. I play and GM a lot of tabletop RPGs. slightly less in December, which worries me. But I'm sure I'll find something to do with the time, probably
We can
too.
figure that out.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. It's fine. But you should definitely check out my channel every Monday and Tuesday for Mists of Ravenloft and Mondays in Exandria. I'm also going to be at PAX Unplugged next week. So if you're there, come say hi. I would love to meet you and say hi and talk about game stuff. Also, there's a podcast that just came out this past Sunday that you should 110% check out called Tales from a Hollow World. And I'm on that. And there's someone here who's a great GM that DMs it. And it's only 25-30 minutes long every episode, so it's perfect for your commute. So definitely check it out. It's really audio drama-esque, and it's awesome. Oh! One last thing before I forget. So glad I didn't forget this. Teenagers from Outer Space. This Saturday, my channel, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon. It's our second, I know, it's once a month game, but we're rubbing it twice this month because it's our 1-year anniversary, and our Storian game generous enough to put up some copies of the game for giveaway. So hang out in the channel, enter the giveaway. We've got 3 digital copies of the game to give away and 1 copy that's going to be signed by the cast at PAX and then shipped out. So that's going to be amazing. Check it out if you like hilarity and shenanigans, because that's what it's going to be.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I do love Teenagers from Outer Space, and that session you ran was amazingly fun as well. So definitely check that out, anybody who can. And thank you so much for playing, Magdalena. They've been a joy. And speaking of a joy, Miss Fairchild.
Hello! Oh my goodness. Favorite moment from this game? That's so many! It was just so fun getting to basically just be a persistence predator for most of the session. Just slowly walking after people. Oh, it was so much fun. Favorite moment though there's just so many. It's got to be just, just trying to eat Delilah. I really didn't want to try and eat Delilah, but that was magic. And the epic showdown, it was just termite zombies. Didn't see that one coming. That was a thing that I feel itchy just talking about it.
So sorry.
I'm gonna need to go shower. But yeah, just
what we aim for with Unhallowed.
Oh. And then you made the sound effect and my soul just died. But yeah, it was all so fantastic. I honestly couldn't pick out a moment from this session that I can say was amazing, because it was all amazing. I'm so glad I didn't eat anyone. Nibbled Vince a little. Anyway, the whole campaign has been fantastic, but I've got to say my favorite moment of the whole campaign is the doctor saving my son. Because, I love that. That was just I was so prepared for the opposite of stuff to happen, and it visceral reactions to that. That's the kind of moment. But this whole campaign has just been fantastic, and I love it. I love it to pieces. Anyway, I'm Shakespeare. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I play in various games. You can find all my games on Twitter. I play on Hollow's channel on Mondays with Mistborn. I also play on Welcome to the Party on Mondays with a Ravnica game. Can't think of anything else. Oh, I also knit things. Oh, can I show my thing? So this is Dr. Varukht, which I knit because he saved my son. He had 2 arms at that point, but for verisimilitude, he's got 1. He's got his little blood apron. He hasn't got goggles yet. I'm working on the goggles, but yeah, little.
So good.
So yeah, I knit nerdy things. And this is just so great. I love this game so much. I love all of you so much. Move on before I start crying.
And we love you.
Go.
You can cry, but mute yourself.
You do, I will. Don't.
I think crying would make an excellent soundtrack to the descending.
Yeah, it does. It makes it. You can cry on open mic. That's fine. I'm not really that mean to you. It's okay.
Quietly, please.
But anyway, speaking of crying, Tilly Griffiths, welcome back.
Hello. Wow, everyone. Holy crap. Okay, best moment. It's a small moment, but it really just lightened me up. It was the garlic bread. It was the freaking garlic bread moment. And now our last meal, and he just holds up garlic bread, and I was just like, I know the rest of this is so dramatic, and I know there's so many dark, tense, gritty moments, Garlic bread. Just calm down. And I think one of my favourite moments, it's more like the consequence of a moment. The shattering of the glass was probably one of the most impactful sort of single events that have had so many consequences down the line. And just having to sort of watch that like butterfly effect was just amazing. It was amazing. So many things have happened now because that event has corrupted people. That event has took someone's arm. It's just one of those. I can't believe it happened, and it shaped the story in such a different way. And I just love it. I love it. I hated it at the time. Now I love it. That's how I do it. You can find me on Twitter at Humbledore6. I usually post up like memes at the moment because memes alleviate, sadness and winter blues and university stress. Otherwise, you can find me on Hollow's channel along with the lovely Shax. On Mondays, playing Mistborn, where I play a angry mother lion barbarian.
Strong sword wife. It's amazing.
Strong sword wife.
Hair for days too.
And the lovely individual who gave everyone a crit this session, you're an angel.
We love you.
We love you so much. We would have probably failed miserably without you.
Our lives. Yep.
So, thank you.
Okay. No, and thank you very much for playing. Tilly has been an amazing, great detective. I've absolutely loved it. And speaking of loving it, Dr. Baruch.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so for this session, I had moments that could have happened that didn't, and I was so glad. When I asked you if Miss Fairchild looked like an animate, anything but a no was going to be an immediate quick draw pop and just done for.
No, I expected that.
He would have taken her out just
so did I.
And so I was like, oh my goodness. And then I felt so bad abandoning Delilah, but the doctor is very focused, and when he gets on a thing, it's just it's go for that thing. And he, in his head, Delilah or Magdalena was back there, Miss Fairchild was back there. There was no, you were protected. Doctor was worried that Tilly was chasing the madman by herself. And so that's why he was like striding down the walkway, like, okay, it's got to happen. A lot of the things people said from campaign are utterly amazing, but I want to call back. I want to call back to our time as the gangsters. That game, I adored playing Gino. Humbledore. The mother, she, oh my God, our first interaction, and you're just like, that viciousness right off the bat was, it was just,
all right.
No.
Love that woman.
It was so,
she's a great woman.
Good. So that,
and her opioid stuff.
The worst, best cook in the world.
Yes. I just wanted to give a call back to that because I really enjoyed playing, sad boy Gino, and the best moments, like I said, were just your Humbledore's reactions to him, which is fantastic. Not to give props to your Russian, because you threw me for a loop at the right with your suddenly Russian, beautiful acting. That was amazing. Campaign-wise, I mean, my goodness, it was every episode had something fantastic that just occurred. And what really was funny, particularly since I watch and I'm on a lot of streams, is the tone here, and like in Gaslight, Britannia, on your channel, the tone is so weird, and then when the action hits, it's so like disjointing, because being on the streams that I'm on, a lot of times it's go or and it's just, and this is just so nice to have that. Oh, look, we're having tea. And now there's that's why I always when I tweet out or I retweet, I'm always like, there was murder dolls and Tesla guns and back to tanks full of protean monsters. Because it's like that. If somebody were to just hop in for a minute, they're like, why are they having sandwiches? I don't get this. And I'm like, for it. It's the chink 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 chink.
You gotta wait for the bass to drop.
Exactly.
You gotta finish the stone first, all right, and then we fight.
Yes.
So
We're British. We eat scones and then we destroy things.
We drink tea and then we go to war.
So again, thank you so much for having me on board. And you know, when you want to do some other projects, you give me a call.
I certainly will. I've absolutely loved Varukta. It's been amazing playing with you and all of you. It's been a delight to have all of you here. I've had a lot of good moments in this game. I've thoroughly loved running Unhallowed for all of you. So thank you so much for all of you playing and for all of you watching as well. Thank you so much for watching. I know the pace has been sort of all over the place, but that's kind of what you get with an Unhallowed game. It's a little different from some other systems out there. But those of you that have stuck along for the ride, thank you so much. It's amazing to see how much some of you are enjoying it. And, you know, Lord Bok will live on, I'm sure, no matter what happens. Bok will always be with you in your heart in all of his grand clockiness. And aside from that, all of you will gain back a corruption today. So you redeem yourself of one corruption. It's not much, but you all gain.
I'm back down to the minimum.
And on
As
top of
if
that,
you're the one back down at the minimum. Are you kidding me right now?
Me too.
Seriously?
But aside from that,
more than anyone else.
thank you everybody for watching. You've all been amazing, and yeah, it's been absolutely lovely to run this game for all of you here. So if you want to find anything else I do, I have another Unhallowed Metropolis game on that is continuing. It's not this Saturday, but the next Saturday after that, and it's Britannia by Gaslight. We're in our second season, but if you haven't seen the first one, catch up on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/hollowtail. There's a playlist at the bottom of the page for all of my actual play games, and it is a brilliantly fun series. But if you are joining us for the next episode in roughly about 2 weeks' time, so a week on this Saturday actually, don't worry about it. If you haven't seen the first one, we're starting up a whole new storyline and you don't need to know anything about the previous series. So come and join us, have some fun, see some horror, and, you know, have some good laughs along the way. But aside from that, thank you everybody for watching. You're all amazing. And, well, I guess for at least the last time for now, beware what goes bump in the night, because you never know what it might be, and it might be an entire swarm of termites. So, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.